Hey guys, if you're a Brimstone main, you're not gonna
Welcome
want to
everybody for another week of the Esports Arena Apex Legends Weekly Tournament. I said week twice there, but it's okay. I'm Jetset Jamerson, and joining me this week it is going to be FBI Tugboat Tug. How are you doing today?
Doing well, doing well. I'm about to cast some Apex Legends, so I have zero complaints, Jamerson.
Yeah, and especially with the lobby that we have today. Every single week, of course, we just get it absolutely stacked right now. We're just waiting on one more team before we get this all going to join the lobby. But before that, let's go ahead and break down how the action takes place. And so today we had, I believe, 35 teams battling it out for
Yes, sir.
20 spots here in the finals. And of course, they're competing for a $1,000 prize pool, and it's just the top three that'll be making it into the money. But how do they make it into the top three, Tug?
Yes, sir. You got your classic 1 point per kill, and these teams are going to get some massive benefits from coming in, getting your first, second, third place wins. Particularly, you're getting 12 points for the first place win, 9 points for second, 6 for third, I believe, and obviously those equaling out to a lot of kills. So you really get benefit from both getting kills and staying in towards your later game. 4 games
Yeah, and
across, right?
this is a 4-game set, and so every single one is absolutely going to count here. Now, we see a lot of times in these weeklies, because it's not exactly like the ALGS, where in the finals you play it out 5 matches, the
Mhm.
4 matches minus that one. It makes a huge difference in the kind of tempo that you have to play for. Sometimes you can just have one big game along with 3 consistent and maybe not so great games that can still
Mhm.
land you in the money. And so teams can play this very differently, especially when it comes down to that final game number 4. We see a lot of changes coming in once we hit that final game.
Yeah, they're not really changing so much when it comes to hero selection, I believe, but it's always going to be different. If you're a little bit lower, you're middle of the pack. You need to come forward in your game four and be super aggressive, both by taking kills and by staying in towards the end of the game to get that massive placement bonus.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about some of the teams that'll be competing with us today. In lobby number 1, the first lobby that had 17 teams, the top 10 to make it out were North, Lazarus, SJP2, Alliance, Outsiders, BDS, Hexagon, Triumph, OTT, and DF. The minimum to make it out of that group was 13 points. But in lobby number 2, again, these lobbies were absolutely stacked. The top 10 here, 2 of them are no-named. I don't know why it's
Hmm.
listed like that, but we've got Gambit, AHG, FOTM, former Virtus Pro, by the way, Zicky's team, Purge, Epsilon, who will be playing with Otter, I believe, Hyarka's team, and Team Liquid, who were able to eke it out there 1 point above 303, or former 303. I forget exactly how that works. But yeah, 1 point above them. And so it was a very tight race in lobby number 2, but still absolutely stacked here in our top 20.
Yes, sir. So with some of our lower the top 2 teams from the 2 lobbies coming in with, 12, 13, 14 points and stuff like this, what that means, of course, is if you take a first place win in your first 3 placement games, you're pretty much guaranteed at this point with how these points are shaking down to come in and get into your finals. But let's go ahead and get on to it.
Yeah, hopping into game number 1 here. Now, I'm trying to see if there are any teams that really contest each other's drops. Not as familiar with the EU drops just because there are so many teams and they do like to play kind of variable drop sites. But again, it's so hard to really try and nail down who we're looking forward to here because there are absolute monsters coming out. Nasky, Strafe, and Dell, that was one of the teams that weren't named that are in here, by the way. And so that's one team that we do have to look out for. They will be dropping over at East Fragment like they usually do. Do they have a beacon to take? It doesn't look like it, nor do they have the beacon over on No Name. I gotta double check. Maybe they already took it. They actually do. They have that beacon, and so they were able to take it. And it looks like the first ring will be pulling over to Sorting Factory, or well, the second ring will be pulling over to Sorting Factory.
Always going to be the hotter drops coming on to our train station, things like this, but it really doesn't seem like there's going to be a whole lot going on. There's melees on different sides of this map, but on board with DF here, they are not too far away from the edge of the circle. It's going to be a great way to get into this next part of the circle this game.
Nice first kill coming out from SJP2, picking up 2 members of Hexagon now. And so he's going to be left as a solo rat in the game. And that is unfortunate. You do not want to be starting off on the back foot here, especially when all you got left is a caustic, and so no movement abilities whatsoever. We'll see if they try to decide to camp these banners or allow them to bring him back in. He does have time to work with.
That would come in handy.
On board with AHG over here by Lava, and honestly, this is a squad that we have to look out for. They were in the top 2 in their lobby with 39 points, and taking a look at the results throughout that one, let's see, Ad Hoc Gaming in their first game, they got 4 kills, finished 6th. Second game, they got 5 kills and finished 5th, and they were able to finally win out their third game with an 11-kill game. This is a team that absolutely loves to fight, but as we move on over to Refinery, third impacts, Balon getting into a fight. Has to be careful here as he got tagged big. Unfortunately, with that evil shield, not able to charge it up quite yet, and he's gonna have slow heals to slog through this now. Jazz taking massive damage on that purple armor as well. This might be a fight you just disengage from, as they're not able to get the proper damage across, and they have to wait out on the heals.
Looking at Balloon and Zik with those Evo shields, and really got a lot ahead of them to try and get those big up to the 125 total. Balloon a little bit farther back as well. Like you were saying, I think the smart move is just kind of come on back, especially when you have a Watson that only has a Scout and the Havoc. Longer range damage is going to be the only capabilities on this.
There is an opportunity for them. Okay, so I just got a heads up from our admins as it looks like we do have to restart this lobby. So I think a lot of players are complaining about lag right now. So we're going to go ahead and I guess bring it back to us for now as, yeah, we are just restarting this. So really unfortunate, but of course we want to make sure that our players are playing to the best of their abilities. And of course, if you're playing through lag, that's not the best of your abilities. So yeah, it's the first game. We're going to get it out of the way. We're going to restart the lobby, and we'll get right back into this in just a moment. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the teams once again. So some notable teams that weren't able to make it out. It looks like, wow, Rugby's team didn't make it. They ended up 15th. Singularity, Weigers, Letterbino's team. A lot of names that weren't able to make it out of the semifinals. Even Cooler and Kashera's team were dropped out early on here. So I would say it's a little bit disappointing, right, not to have these incredible talents coming out into these games. But again, absolutely stacked. We had 35 teams, and only 20 will be moving on. And so it's not unheard of that teams aren't able to make it. The level of talent, the amount of talent in Europe is crazy high right now.
Fair. Interesting stuff. To put it like positively, right? Like a lot of these teams, like you were mentioning, teams we have seen multiple times, and we know what they're capable of. Maybe the a more positive way or different way to look at it would be like, there's new teams coming there we'll be able to see, and maybe some guys who come through and make big splashes here, these competitions and other ones online. What I have to look at, 303. We've seen them do big stuff already. I want to ask if you know what would happen. Like, so for example, Ranches and Kashera both had 10 points through. What is the next determining factor after points?
So usually tiebreakers for ALGS happen by highest placements. Team's highest placements, if they both match on those, then it's goes down to
kills or damage? I can't remember.
I believe it might be damage after that. Not entirely too sure. We don't have that case happen too often. Also, I don't do the admin work. It's heroes behind the scenes that do all that. So thank you all who do have to do all the administrative duties, as that is super important right now. And so I think we're still trying to get words over to the players that we need to restart this lobby. And as soon as we can get that done, it's probably going to be another 5 or 10 minutes before we can start this next match right now. I am still watching, though. Some fights are taking place right now. Watching AHG fighting Navi is still pretty cool to see, even though it's not official. Still love to see these fights early on, because generally you don't get to see Navi and AHG fighting this early.
Yeah, team 3 right there. That's actually a great way to put it, right? We're literally seeing some action this early in game that normally would not be the method of going on with the rest of these games that these teams would employ, given that everybody wants to get that big fat placement bonus. So great point. DF and one of those teams that has a couple different players eliminated in AHG out already. Not sure if we would see that in actual placed games.
Yeah, I think a lot of the players are starting to catch on. 15 squads left before the first ring closes, 43 players. That's kind of an indicator that something's wrong with the lobby here and we should do something. So hopefully, everyone catches on real quickly and we'll be able to get out of here and get right back into the official game number 1 of the Esports Arena Weekly. Now, remember, our competitors are playing for a split. Only the top 3 will be making into the money to share in a $1,000 prize pool. But if you guys also want to help out and increase that prize pool, type an !contribute. That'll send you over to the Match Arena page where you can donate to the prize pool, and that will get split amongst the top 3 as well.
Something I got to say, Jamerson, I love how the wingman's back in. It used to be everybody's best friend. I think in a large part that was because of that skull piercer. A little bit of changes in the past few months, but really the big one obviously being the skull piercer back in. Now it's back in. It's everybody's little wingman, their sidekick. I can really dig it. I think the skull piercer gives advantage to players who are just simply good and are going to be going for headshots. Right. Outside of that, the benefit before was just not. I guess actions, words. We saw these teams not use it so much. And that tells the narrative, everything you need to know right there.
Yeah, definitely. The weapon meta becoming very, I would say, equal across the board now. A lot more weapons being very viable. We're going to have a short break, though. But when we get back, it'll be basically the start all over again of the stream. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back with the Esports Arena European Apex Legends Weekly.
One last player there. The last squad that's one was still down about half the 75 guys. But this is Frankie helping and Josh. Really, really good position.
3, 2, 1. Once again. I mean, we saw the 3-2-1 in the last game. But this time around, I don't know. I don't think we might have to worry about that kind of peel-off situation here because, well, we don't have the elevation to work with it. It's going to be, of course, just an absolute like that side as Bronzy and Casellos are trying to come in. They've got the work with Bronzy gets cracked now, has to back off as the zone is closing in. What a terrible time for him to take the damage. He will get done, tries to swing on in, and oops, he's going to be able to get the knock on Casellos, that off. Get that. Looks like they will be able to get the win.
This is them and Team Liquid are showing a lot of value in just simply choosing their fights, coming back when they need to.
Now we do have the fight, of course. Complexity now down to 2 members. Up. They pop down with that EVA 8. That's coming down, trying to clear one trap now, but already going down. The wall rolls now. So massive. Wasn't enough. Now he's going to get finished off, and that will be Stay Naughty and Protectful. And Bird closing out game number 4
moving in as the ring advances. That's going to be great for him. Instead, the drop down.
Yeah, Psychop realizes, of course, with that good headshot that he got, having that skull piercer, he was able to deter that team that was just south of them. So he goes for peek now, but he might have bitten off a little bit more than he could chew. Has to get inside here as his armor's almost cracked. But Krema still up top, trying to get some damage on the side through the window, getting a knock on to Rugby now, pushing up on top. Psychop with the wingman, having a little bit of difficulty, but he hits that last shot. Will be able to finish off Otter. That's Nasty Otter and Epsilon Ring. They need to be able to clear this team out. They've only got 27 seconds to do it. But good damage coming out from Rob. 71 onto that Watson. He will be able to get that knock. Drops, goes down. Excuse me, Mox goes down. They're going to be able to finish this off and maybe have a clear path for this rotation. No, Paradise goes down. Oh.
In the playgrounds. They thought they were safe. Somebody just on the right-hand side. Paradise are looking particularly unhealthy at the minute, and if
they have a great position, they've got the high ground, they've got priority on this ring, and they've got the aim. He's got the bubble to work with as well. He's going to go ahead and toss that out now as the fray is just taking place in front of them. I thought maybe Mirage was in there. Everyone was kind of moving in unison, and Zippit still able to connect with his shots, and AHG are going to take the victory in game number 3. Along with that defensive bombardment. EP spots him out, but JMW picks up one. Maz though will bring down that duo. Never mind. Oxbow is the one that finishes it all off, and they will be able to take that win. Myth with a huge game.
Moving in as the ring advances onto them. That's going to be great for them. Instead, the drop down here.
Yeah, Psychop realizes, of course, with that good headshot that he got, having that skull piercer, he was able to deter that team that was just south of him. So he goes for peek now, but he might have bitten off a little bit more than he could chew. Has to get inside here as his armor's almost cracked. But Krema still up top, trying to get some damage on him. Sashi through the window, getting a knock on to Rugby now, pushing up on top. Psychop with the wingman, having a little bit of difficulty, but he hits that last shot. Will be able to finish off Otter. That's nasty Otter and Epsilon Ring. They need to be able to clear this team out. They've only got 27 seconds to do it. But good damage coming out from Rob. 71 onto that Watson. He will be able to get that knock. Drops, goes down. Excuse me, Mox goes down. They're going to be able to finish this off and maybe have a clear path for this rotation. No, Paradise goes down. Oh,
High grounds. They thought they were safe. Somebody just on the right-hand side. Paradise is looking particularly unhealthy at the minute, and if
they have a great position. They've got the high ground, they've got priority on this ring, and they've got the aim. He's got the bubble to work with as well. He's going to go ahead and toss that out now as the fray is just taking place in front of them. I thought maybe Mirage was in there. Everyone was kind of moving in unison, and Zippit still able to connect with his shots, and AHG are going to take the victory in game number 3. Along with that defensive bombardment. EP spots him out, but JMW picks up one. Maz though will bring down that duo. Never mind. Oxbow is the one that finishes it all off, and they will be able to take that win. Myth with a huge game.
Easy pick if someone's in the open. Doesn't take long for Havy to go. Made on the knock on the promo, so they're just gonna push on this. They're just pushing. They seem to be very comfortable in this area, not worried about any third. He gets his armor broken. Raid for each Gals. He gets the knock with that Havoc on Bronze. He's gonna phase back, probably crank
Them as a duo, Rogue as a trio, looking to finish this all out.
And this is tough. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. This height on this side, probably gonna win the game. Naps goes up, tries to do as much as he can, but gets taken out. Not enough, and they will finish off that last goal knockdown, and that's game 1 right there. Looking up. And here it goes. No bubble yet, so that means that's still up top. Timmy hitting the zipline juggle, falls down, is going to have to try to hit another zipline juggle, and it is just an absolute mess in there. Timmy hitting the juggle, dives to Storm, and you saw about 15 boxes pop up right there. Who knows what happened? And you got Rogue winning a second game? They seem to be shooting inside, so there might be 3 teams here. I'm not sure. I can't tell.
Go ahead and push forward. I think it might be Rogue.
Might see a double kick on the door here. One goes down. Door opens. Pathfinder gets the. He's gonna get traded right here. A big right hook to the chest. Takes him out. They're just gonna get chipped at over and over again until they die. Once they get in this tunnel, it's probably over for them.
Kind of killing field. This train might help them out.
The train, it could, or it could push them into Storm.
Yeah.
It's going the wrong way. If it was going towards them, that would be absolutely massive. But it's just going the wrong way. But they have cover. They're probably rotating on the far side as we speak. Once this train disappears, we are going to see people on the right side. Yep, and here we go. Rocker gets knocked immediately.
Is the train the actual MVP?
Fresh is 1 HP, and they get a quick push, and they... Oh my goodness. The train. The train.
Oh my
God.
God.
The essential cover at the right moment.
Hey guys, if you're a Brimstone main, you're not going to want to miss this one because today we're going to be going over some molly placements that can improve your gameplay on the map split.
Hey, Jamerson, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but I cannot hear you.
My faults. But yeah, welcome back everyone to the Esports Arena EU Weekly as we are now into game number 1. This is the proper game 1, I believe, as we've been able to confirm the server stability, and we are on board here with Nasky, Strafe, and Dell, and already we've got information. So a similar-ish circle to what we had in the canceled game number 1, but this time around it's going to pull very heavily over to Harvester instead. So no sorting factory ending here. So a lot of things we do have to take into consideration. Is it going to go over to the western side of Harvester, playing over at S-Bend, or does it pull down to the south? So teams are going to have a little trouble moving in. Really excited to see what kind of fights we have.
Yeah, glad to have that information decently early. Like you were saying, Harvester dead smack in the middle of not next circle, but circle after that. Now, Harvester is such an interesting final circle location because there's just so much surface area, different levels, and everything more that players can play from.
And we're on board with Hexagon right now, and in that first lobby, they did not have a great start whatsoever over here at Refinery. We'll see if Epsilon will be there to try and take advantage of them. And I'm actually watching one of them right now, and it looks like they are looking to make the rotation over from Epicenter, so Hexagon have to be careful here.
Yeah, if they do not play this right, they will catch a lot of flack and quickly. Do you see the team looking from Epicenter up northeast? They're definitely ready for this Hex team to come out. It'll just be how prepared they are for this engagement when it comes.
Yeah, we can go back over to Hexagon because they might get into a fight very shortly here. There we go, Team 14. All right, looks like they are making their move right now. They have been spotted out by Epsilon as well, and it looks like they want to try and play for the balloon, but they're already getting shot at currently, and this is going to be a dangerous maneuver, and so it looks like they will just go ahead and hoof it instead of trying to risk it, especially up against this team right now that has a Gibraltar on the other side. They don't want to take a close-up engagement, and it's going to be difficult. If they can play at this range, if Epsilon can play at this range and try and get some decent damage off and push forward aggressively with the bubble, it'll be huge. But Kobe getting some good damage off might be enough to try and dissuade them.
And Kobe lobbing shots here. But with without that Pathfinder on board, they have utilized their one big movement ability so far, Hex has. Like you were saying, they do have a Gibraltar, so their really big concern here is that ultimate going to be coming down and very quickly dropping strikes on top of them if they're not able to get out and away from this team quickly.
Yeah, they're swinging far right, basically to the north here, because Epsilon were making a maneuver with their portal to try and cut them off early on along the tracks. And so I like this movement coming out from Hexa. They are trying to avoid this fight. They are trying to keep their distance away from a Gibraltar team for now, but it doesn't look like Epsilon want to give this up whatsoever.
It is good positioning, and it's solid game plan to try and pick off a team decently early, especially when you know where they have to go, and you're just simply closer there yourself as a team.
Yeah, they've got 3 minutes to work with. They're not very far away from the edge of the ring as well, but it looks like already the movement has come out. It's going to be noises from the other side. Now, I was able to get in front of them and cut them off, and now this is what Epsilon's looking for. Hexagon did not want this to happen. The distance has been closed.
They have decent medium-ish range capabilities here, wingmans and scouts and whatnot, but it's actually going to be finding a lot of value here with the projectiles. This Dennis here got a lot for just a single fire grenade. I always forget the name of these, man.
Yeah, the thermite coming out, but Epsilon are able to push forward, getting decent damage off onto them. This is a different squad, by the way, and we have a fight over here at Sorting Factory. Nook's already down as Hyarka's team in a little bit of trouble here. It looks like the res will be able to go off. He's going to have to use that Phoenix kit, but will he have the time? Hyarka can't really stand to try and contest this, and Nook's going to go down along with Darkin. It's all up to Hyarka now. Left, I don't think there was a trade at all, so it might just be a 1v3 here. Peeking from the stairs, there's 2 of them. The EVA 8 is out. He's getting decent damage off, trying his best to jiggle peek, but it's not going to be enough. Quite yet, he's dropped down to about 30 HP, falls back to try and get an off nade here, but he's just going to have to give it up. Backing off now as he gets shot one more time, dropped down to just 1 shot left. Will he have the time to get the shield battery off? No, forced off that position, forced off from that battery, and he will go down on the other side. It looks like Epsilon with InStyle and Noises and Otter, the fight that we were watching just before this, were able to get the victory on their fight as well. So 2 squads gone early on.
So interesting stuff. We start this out watching Hex. They do a nice little dance here on the edge of circle to try and get in. Had plenty of time with which to do so, but classic Apex Legends. They come in, third-party action. But Epsilon, the one giving them all this flack, was actually able to keep all their players and have 3 kills.
They definitely wanted that. That's kind of the composition that they run for here. And so I love how they were playing it. They see the circle and they realize that they've got plenty of time to work with to try and force this fight. And not too many people in that area as well. But this is the dangerous one, Gambit. Really trying to stabilize here. As you can see, Hardeki still on about 5 HP on his shields. Needs to heal that up. But he does have space. Doesn't really have to worry about it there. As they're going to go ahead and retake the high ground.
Gambit inside and have some very solid positioning on this one. Leo is definitely going to be wanting to try and find anything better, literally, than this level 1 shield. Even Evo shield at basic somewhere in a corner that somebody missed would be leagues better than just having to rock closer to round 2 in that circle with a level 1 shield. Nice shots coming across the top. Wraith forced to pull all the way back on this one. Covering shots and more as Hardeki and Art looking to get aggressive.
They do need to be a little bit faster with this fight because at any point a third party can come in. We're going to go ahead and swap on over to AHG though. This is a team that's kind of swapped around their composition, running a Wraithless comp. Matafe moving over from the Wraith over to the Watson, and Kuya picking up the Pathfinder there. So some adjustments coming out, but again, Matafe was playing Watson for a while, so it's not that hard of an adjustment. He's also a very smart player, so more than used to playing that Watson here. Now, it looks like they were just caught out a little bit again. This is one of those teams that loves taking these fights on the edge, just like we saw with Epsilon just beforehand, running that Gibraltar composition. They just need to find a way to try and close the distance here.
Definitely a composition that allows for that in a lot of ways. Now moving on over here, DF, they're catching a lot of action inside and looking to just try and get on out of dodge on this one. Maybe even using the Gibraltar Ultimate to cover their tracks.
Yeah, they got to use the Dome along with the Gibraltar Ultimate there. They're going to miss out on Kaka, and now they're just left with 3M and Zhao Kai as they have time. I don't know why Zhao Kai is not going for more of the heals. Maybe he doesn't have the syringes to work with. There we go. Okay, hitting for Flesh, getting a knock onto BDS.
Wow.
He's going to go ahead and stand and challenge. He does have, of course, the arm shield to work with, as 3M is trying to push off of that right now, bringing this down to a 2v2, but it's going to be difficult to try and push this here, as they might just run into 1v2s trying to challenge any single angle. He has to back off, and Zhao Kai is going to have his bubble once again, using his Q to get out of there now. It's just going to be a full fight reset. They're going to be able to get the res on BDS's side, and 3M will go down. That's going to be DF out. Now we're left with 17 squads.
Let's go this way.
Talk about his squad falling very quickly. It looked like DF was going to be on the safer side, coming back out to where they just retreated from, but long-range wingman shots, these players are capable of putting them down.
Now, we might be having a fight here. If we go over to Team 12 right now, who are still playing on the edge, they are getting into a fight. It looks like it is going to be a full 3v3. If we can swap over to Team 12, who are in the middle of a fight.
Epsilon going at it. There's a capability to get out of this one, but just like that, Ultimate's dropping left and right. Otter InStyle and Noises on the pursuit.
They've already got a knock, and it's going to be Navi that they're fighting right now. And already with 2, they are getting so aggressive here, and this is huge for Epsilon, as they've already picked up 2 team fight wins in a row. They're going to be kitted out of their minds going into the mid and late games.
That's a fair way to put this one. We're looking at a situation where round 2 hasn't even closed on the next circle, and everything with purple, and they're even working with a little bit of Evo shield action, so even more to go on that one. Moving on along here, LZR in trouble.
Yeah, Lazarus here, and definitely a lot of trouble, and I believe this was AHG that was pushing them. The fight that we were looking to see. Roger, though, dropped down to 50 HP here. Try to use his knock shield buddy companion there. J Savage W will go down. Roger backing off for that bat. Will have time to get it off. The Watson trap slowing them down, and the thirsts are there. So as he pushes forward, not able to connect with this G7 Scout. The 3X kind of doing him dirty, but there we go. Connects with 3 in a row, and he's going to crack that shield. Is able to get the armor swap now as he continues the pursuit. Spots him down lower. It's a decent tag off, and now he's got the Mastiff in hand if he wants to swap off to it, but instead he's going to challenge once again with that G7 Scout. Won't drop down, won't get over aggressive here as he Phoenix on up and breaks line of sight for now. He's keeping an eye out to make sure that there isn't more here. Ooh. Takes enough damage, and this might be it. He can't drop down for it. He's going to go ahead and secure the thirst instead, and he will ultimately fall, but he gets the KP for his team.
Yeah, so the points garnered there, that's the big thing, but he had the deck stacked against him down there. There was a player with a gold knockdown down there, and so he knows that if he does not give him the attention they need, that's going to be a res up. Now over on to Epsilon, trying to get out and away near Sorting Factory.
Yeah, they're already down 2 right now. Otter has been knocked, and so they got into a quick fight with BDS. BDS, we saw them, of course, taking out DF just a few minutes ago, and the pace of this match is absolutely absurd right now. It's a third ring with 1:20 left before the ring starts closing. We're already down to 14 squads and 38 players remaining. Noises here, with the amount of kill points that this team was able to get, can honestly just play for the late game. I think they had a great strategy going, try to find the edge fights, get those early kill points, start off really strong in game number 1. And so if he could just rat this out, get them a top 5 finish, that'll be a great start to our 4-game set.
Yeah, coming out strong on our game number 1, especially with this format where you can be afforded that aggression, you know, allow for later games to come through and either have consistent performances or big performances, whatever is needed, but game number 1 always going to be a wild one.
We have a lot of teams here actually still left in Sorting Factory, about 4 total currently right now, as that ring pull, as the Observer just brought up, kind of tricky to maneuver around, because now with it pulling and still not really favoring anything, it can pull over to eastern side of Harvester, or even pull to the northwest side of Sorting Factory. Epsilon gets peeked, and he's instantly into the void, sees the portal, takes the damage, but will be able to take it back, gets knocked. He's got the gold knock shield to work with, but BDS will be able to finish him off. And how many kill points do BDS have at this point?
They're not going to get away that easily. BDS with 5, I believe that's the second highest. Team 12, that was Epsilon, who just fell. Noises has a total of 6. About half these teams actually have not garnered a kill quite yet. A lot of other ones just have 1 or 2.
Now, BDS do have to be careful. Gambit, we're still in the area, and if we do actually take a look at Gambit's point of view, Team 15, to bring up the map, the ring will be pulling to the northwest side of Harvester, as you can see right there. And so the teams that gambled that was, northwest side of Sorting, the teams that gambled that it was going to be a Harvester ending are not going to be happy about this one. Gambit definitely are happy. They were even able to get that beacon for us. So thank you, Gambit, for doing us a solid.
There you go, an extra little information given to the casters from our players. Love to see it. They're just out where this house is. They're literally just on the outside. They do not want to hang out here. This is not a place for a push to be held from.
Yeah, they're in the corner right now, though. AHG in a fight over at Harvester, and again, they don't care about the end circle right now. They just want to get the kills. Matafe is down right now, though, and they don't have the bubble anymore, as Zippeth did commit that into the fight. And so they're just going to have to wait. They have to complete out this fight, or Kuya needs to find a pick to find an opening for them to get the res right now. Peeking up on the high ground is Kuya on that Pathfinder. Looks like it might just be clear. There is a Gibraltar bubble in front of them, and that might have been the opportunity. They could back off, but instead they get aggressive there. Matafe does get res, and Zippeth has to back off just a little bit as his shields get cracked. They're going to go ahead and make a push in here, though. And they'll be able to finish off Nasky, Strafe, and Dell, who is the other team on this side. There comes the knock. It's SJP2 going down, and AHG are having a monstrous first game.
Wow, so that's Team 1, Nasky and company, Team 13, SJP2, both falling with no kills on the board. a round one that did not go their way.
AHG currently sitting on 6 kills as we are entering into the mid game right now. 12 squads left, 34 players remaining, and it looks like, yeah, it's just SJP2 that are down to a solo. That accounts for the 2 missing players in the lobby right now. Now Matafe will go down, and it looks like Alliance are here for the third party inside Zipit's bubble. Vice will be able to finish him off, and Alliance will put an end to AHG early.
Yeah, so that's Kuya, gonna be the last one alive? Is that what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Kuya
is still alive,
gonna be,
yeah.
But he's so far away from the rest of his teammates, it would be an act of God to be able to get over there and still alive. Oops, sorry. To be able to get over there and still alive. As it is going to be a rough 1 versus 3 situation. He's going to find himself in multiple times here. 14 shield cells, so he's ready to go though. He's got the energy with which to do so.
Now the trouble here is if they run into a team at this choke, which a lot of teams will play, especially with the number of squads remaining. There's one. Kuya tried to get away, but they do have to contend with another team here. This is what I was talking about. There will be some pressure coming in, but it looks like right here in this corner, they are still alive. Gibraltar ultimate coming down, and the other team was trying their best to get rid of that. Watson generator, it does go down for now, but with the Gibraltar ultimate down, there are the nades, doesn't really strike through the fences, and again, they're gonna be able to knock him out of the air. That's Triumph going down, but Purge is on the other side of this. So the choke, again, with the fact that they have this corner to work with though, they have plenty of time, they can reset. I love this coming up from Alliance, taking measured fights.
Yes, and they're always to their benefit. Whenever these start off, especially given their positioning, the Watson pulls up and everywhere. Now the Watson ultimate coming out. They have a full minute, and they just are going to reap kills through here consistently because they know that the other team on the other side has to come through there and does not have a long time with which to do so.
And it looks like the final ring, or the next ring, will be closing over on the train tracks bridge. And so leapfrogging forward with the caustic barrels one at a time to buy a little bit more space for Alliance. I love this approach. I love, again, this measured fight coming out, utilizing that DT as well. Ice coming up huge here. They're going to go ahead and clear that Watson trap to try and push forward, but Ice gets cracked there, and they're going to have to reset on this fight as all of their armors are gone. Hawkins is down to 50 HP, and he's in the thick of things right now as they try to push him. That's a little bit of a bait, as they're going to be able to get the knock, and they will be able to finish off Purge.
The Purge did net 2 kills through there, but I just simply anticipated a little bit more from them. Team on the other side, you know, you corner a dog, you can't get mad when it bites you. That was them coming through, absolutely slapping and making their way out of a sticky situation.
The team's still trying to learn to contend and how to fight against, especially a seasoned caustic team like Alliance though. But Hawkins, as he tries to push forward, he gets knocked down. That's going to be Outsiders to take him out. IPN will go down next. Katie coming up huge with this massive now. It's all up to Vice though, as he's able to crack one armor, but he gets a second peek. Now we do have the ring coming in, and he will be able to clutch out that fight, and he survives.
Fave's alive. A lot going down over here with Team Liquid, though. They just had an absolute shooting gallery from the top of crates here down to the bottom. Lots of players following them that, and they have Circle.
We're down to 5 squads now, 11 players left here. We got a solo, of course. Gambit are missing one as well, as Team Liquid make it into the top 5 here. Things are looking good for them. They have great positioning along with the crossfire setup. Go ahead and peek from this angle though. Secure this KP at the very least, and Gambit are now down to 4 squads remaining. Excuse me, Gambit are still alive. Hardeki is still in this right now, and he's trying to rat this out. We've seen Hardeki rat it out before.
Yeah, I think Hardeki was the one who retreated over there and is actually on the first floor of that scaffolding. OTT is the only other team with a full 3, Liquid being the other one. Lions has Vaves left, and Hardeki really, again, going to have this work cut out for him in a 1v3 situation. Or 1v1, 3v3, really, yeah.
Yeah.
Lot of numbers.
But Liquid, they already have the circle, and of course, with the setup behind crates here, their Watson generator not at all threatened whatsoever. So they can just set up and they can just wait this out. decent amount of the ammunition as well, as Nocturnal still has about 6 clips to work with here on this R99, and he's just trying to poke them so that when they have to move with this ring, it'll be that much more difficult. Trying to slow them down at all, try to apply any pressure, and Knock even realizing there is possibly a solo rat off to the left. Portal coming out now from OTT, as they are right on top of the ring here. Flanker already setting it up with traps.
So Streamy, Andre, Strong, and Blood Rain needed to get out of there quick. The Blood Rain and Andre just took a lot of damage from the circle. Streamy trying to get rest up now.
Yeah, now Liquid, they already smell blood in the water. Vice wasn't able to survive long enough to secure that kill for himself, even though he got a knock. But he was the 4th man for Liquid here to secure this win for them, or at least it should be a win. And there we go. As they finish them all off, Liquid will be able to take the first win of the day.
What's so 6 kills, first place win on them. That's 18 points here, Jamerson.
Yeah, that's going to be a strong game for them. Now Liquid have been looking to get back into form for quite some time. Haven't had the performance that they would be pleased with across the online tournament since their last win, along with, of course, the esports arena stuff. And so Liquid are going to be extremely happy about that. And that means they could absolutely just change up the play style coming into the next 3 games. They can play aggressive if they want, or they can even play passively here. But with those kill points, with the 12 points, of course, coming out from taking the first place win, that's going to put them at 18. So that's huge for them, though. Taking a look at the other teams, though, Gambit, though, it looks like Hardeki was able to make it into the top 2 for them, as they picked up 6 kill points as well. So that's going to be 15 for them. And then OTT finishing it out in 3rd place, but they had 8 kill points. So just 1 point, I believe, behind Gambit. No, tied with Gambit, actually, with that. So we have a 2-way tie for 2nd right now. Let's take a look at 4th, though. Alliance came up huge. We had 3 kills on IPN, 3 kills on Hawkes, and 4 kills on Weiss there. It is just unfortunate. If he could have just gotten that, was able to finish off that thirst that he had gotten. He got a knock onto one of the OTT players during that scramble and secured one more kill point. That would have been huge for them, but still a great performance coming out from Alliance there, as they were able to at least finish off in the top 4, and they had a hell of a journey to make it through those last 2 rotations.
Yeah, just traveling, absolutely traveling. They did not have very much downtime at all. What I want to talk about is why Liquid took that, really. I think the entire narrative here is the benefit that comes when you're a team like Team Liquid that's very well set up. They have the Watson ultimate in the back on those crates, but the future information from the Pathfinder passive, and utilizing those beacons, that's really what got them this. They knew where next circle was going to be. They set up there completely and put the initiative onto other teams to have to come forward, challenge them as they're defensively set up. And like we saw, a couple players even taking about half their health away from the circle as they were pushing in the last second.
Yeah, and the pressure from the circle definitely cannot be understated there. And with the help, of course, with the rats that were still left, right, we still had a player from Gambit alive in the end there, and a player from Alliance, and they all kind of funneled in from the same angle, so OTT was not able to take a clean 3v3 in that fight whatsoever. It was everything against them and everything going for Team Liquid there. So congratulations on a strong game number 1, where they walked away with 18 points. We will be setting up the 2nd lobby right now, as our admins also tabulate the points. But I am already looking forward to this. Team Liquid starting off strong here, and they are, of course, our only North American representative, I believe, in this lobby. And
there we go.
They are also playing with, of course, a replacement right now. Coach Hotzik of Team Liquid is taking the place of Casper. I forgot to note that earlier on.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so Casper not in this one, but a slightly different squad. But they're still finding value from this all day. You mentioned this a little bit earlier, but Team Liquid now with that 18-point win first game just purchased themselves so much wiggle room. They can do so many different things coming into games 2, 3, and 4. And just so long as they don't get knocked out early in 2 of them, then they're going to be A-okay and really going to be cruising in for a solid finals finish.
Yeah, with a team like Liquid as well, who highly prioritize, of course, as a Pathfinder team, of finding that center position early on, using that information. That just means that they can honestly, if they want to, they could play a little bit more edge. And when I say that, I mean edge of like second ring or edge of third ring with the information they get from Pathfinder. Try play for KP in the mid game. So I want to see what kind of adjustments they have. The fact that they're actually able to play with their coach. Usually in tournaments, you're not allowed to have coaching in between games. But with your coach in game, I don't think that rule actually
No,
applies
you
to them.
can't comms with your team, with your coach.
Yeah.
Not anymore yet, right?
Sorry, Hodzik, you can't come. You get off your
there you
mic
go.
right now.
An extra level of difficulty added for this team.
Yeah. So that might actually work towards their benefit. Who knows? Hodzik's still an absolutely cracked player. And yeah, you gotta give him as much love as possible because yeah, that man grinds. So I'm always excited to see him play. I loved him, of course, in watching him play in Poland for the Pittsburgh Knights, and of course the continued success that he's had in the Apex Legends community so far, continually stepping up and finding new opportunities throughout the scene.
I'm with it. Something else I want to note is that no individual player, I believe, in game number 1 had more than 4 kills. We'll be looking to see if anybody comes through there, puts the backpack on, and really carries their team with anything more than that. 4 kills, respectable all day long, but not the max amount we've seen, like in, say, other esports arena Apex Legends Tuesdays and Wednesdays, either for EU or NA. 4 kills, and see what gets topped from that.
All right, we're heading into game number 2 now on a board with Liquid. Liquid, they have changed things up, and they are dropping Geyser here. They used to drop Train, but this is a big throwback, I would say, basically Hodzik's time with Decop. When he was playing with Decop, when they were both free agents, they would do this drop in particular. Take Geyser. If you don't get Beacon at Geyser, you get the Beacon here. And that's exactly what we're going to be seeing out of Hodzik right now as he goes over to No Name to grab that beacon for them. They'll have a lot of loot to work with. So they got No Name, they've got all of Geyser as well. But it looks like Hodzik's just going to get out of there. They're going to take the loot and use that information. And if we take a look at the map right now, let's see, where does this ring pull? This one is less ambiguous, and this one goes over to Harvester. No, it should not be Sorting Factory at all. And as you can see, they have a ping down on one of the buildings. Smack dab in the middle of Harvester, but not actually Harvester. Well, and smack dab in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So this is a pretty similar ring to last time, right? Offset by, a little bit, but not very much. But like you were alluding to, I believe that this certain circle is going to yield later on in much different in-game performances than our game number 1. Just because it's this circle is closer there does not mean that these two games are going to be the same by any means.
Yeah,
completely out of this one too. Yeah.
I think right now, though, a lot of the reads is that it is definitely going to be Harvester unless it's an absolutely absurdly hard pull over to Sorting Factory. But there are a lot of circles in this area. So the ping around that high ground position, it can go down to the south of Harvester, to the train tracks over by the RV. There's even a chance that this ring continues to pull west and goes over to the train tracks there, along with that building by the respawn beacon. But again, it's about trying to find that proper position where you're not going to get heavily challenged for your position. You have good vision to try and possibly get KP, or you're able to make your presence known without it being too dangerous to your own health.
Yeah, the advantages of sniping and those kind of, or not even necessarily sniping, mid, long range shots, and where these positions can be, especially once you play it a lot and you have a secondary backup, somewhere you can escape to, maybe even with the assistance of a teammate's moving ability ultimate, really just going to be that Wraith or the Pathfinder. Moving along here though, SJP2, going to be a team that's decently well set up and not that far away from ring.
Yeah, they do have a team also in Skyhook with them right now, but I don't think a lot of the times these fights kind of fizzle out. One thing that I'm looking at right now is once again that Hexagon fight up against Epsilon, and over here at Epicenter they are looking for it, and it looks like we're going to have that fight. Team number 12 right now as they're already laying in damage.
12 looking on with them.
Yeah, Noises took a lot of damage there, brought down to about 55 HP. He will be able to bat that off and push forward with his team right now. Epsilon stepping forward, but it's going to be Noises jumping above him. Even though he gets the crack, will queue back. And that might be the initiative lost as InStyle taking a lot of damage here. Drops down that Watson Jenny as the Gibraltar ultimate comes down. Why did they clear it?
Interesting. So Noises kind of abandons that up there. You know, he had, I believe, 2/3 in the blue shield, at least 50 on that. Now, these high-level Apex Legends players can melt you instantly, but he had the assistance of his teammate. Not sure if that would have been the optimal play.
They go for a full reset on this, and so InStyle will be able to get fully healed. They weren't healing through a Gibraltar bubble, so they don't have that same kind of initiative that you normally have where you're able to just reset a fight quickly and then push forward. It looks like there might be someone third-partying from Overlook, or at least just trying to tap away at them right now, but here we go. Noises now trying to get on top of them again. Last time they fought, it was about closing the distance first and then closing it out. Noises is trying his best to stay on top of them right now. He's got the high ground with that alternator, not able to do enough damage. But he's got the hemlock here, 46, and that's going to be pushing Epsilon as they will aggressively push forward as well with that Gibraltar dome now. Again, having difficulty as this fight now going downhill, and so they're able to use that speed, but the alternator, the hemlock coming out once again. And it looks like there might be a split by Hexagon right now, and the first knock comes out as Dennis will fall. And it looks like Epsilon will be able to win out this fight once again, or at least take the advantage for the foreseeable future. As Kobe and Madison, looking at their feeds right now, they are a little bit split.
Yeah, a little bit split, not too far away from each other, but they're definitely looking to get a little bit of revenge action on this. Dennis falling there is not going to be great for them, but the mid-long range shots, the other team consistently came through. They just proved that at the beginning of this last team fight.
Bubble has gone down, and it looks like Madison even cracked. It's going to be Kobe to go down first, and Epsilon won't be able to finish him off, and it's all up to Madison, who's backed up all the way over to Refinery. Otter does go down. No, that's going to be North coming in for the third party now. 2v3 fight. Gibraltar bubble down. Good damage coming across with those nades, but it's all up to Noises now, as he's going to just go ahead and port away from this fight. They got some KP, but it looks like he has to completely abandon it here as the ring is closing in on them as well.
Yeah, so we're looking at an Epsilon team that's Noises left with 2 kills on this. They were playing an interesting game, right? Like, they take advantage and then realize, you know, just want to go back to this true neutral. As they're doing this, and once they're healing off from damage from the previous team fight, again, classic Apex Legends, little third-party action comes on in, and now it's just Noises left to hollow-tail through up the center and trying to get to the circle.
We're on board with Nasky, Strafe, and Dell here, who looks like we're the beneficiaries of a big team fight here, as they have 2 kill points themselves. Purple armor along with 2 blues, and there's a res coming out. Surprised they're not actually chasing after this. This is possible KP for them, especially in a fight that they should have the numbers advantage.
Yeah, and they should be able to hear the res noise coming out from there. As it is, okay, just opting to come all the way back.
Yeah, so this is the position I was talking about earlier when we saw the ring, over by train tracks, over by the caravan here, where Nasky, Strafe, and Dell have been setting up. Their macro game has been getting better and better, which has ultimately resulted, of course, in their win during the online tournaments.
Yeah, a lot of confidence garnered from that one, I think it's fair to say.
Now, a lot of teams actually here on the southern side of this ring, so this could be a hotbed for action. We've got 1 team over by Tree, and currently 2 teams over at Sorting Factory. 1 on the low ground, 1 on the high ground.
Who's our hero in top, top right, on the other side of Epicenter, trying to get teammates and more. A lot of healing can be guaranteed from them, but like you're saying, this next circle, I think there's only, what, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 teams that are not inside this one, and nobody in the northeast side, nobody on that top side of Harvester by any means.
I believe that's Madison from Hexagon, who's still making his way out of Epicenter right now.
The hero.
So he was able to survive that. But we also have Epsilon, yeah. He's the other one that's a solo out there. So we'll see. We do have the ping also from him. But on board with SJP too. What? 2 gold armors? What do you mean you have 2 gold armors, SJP2?
Is that allowed in here? I'm not sure about that one now. But yeah, I was back on the level 1 Evo shield. He'll have his work cut out for him on that Gibraltar and getting this longer range damage. He's already landed a little bit of it, but wanted to get all the way up there again. Now, we talked a little bit about this, and you said that you are about the red Evo shield all the way up, not necessarily the gold, even with the benefit that it gets you, correct?
Yeah, the effective HP, especially on a fortified legend like Gibraltar, goes that much further. Especially because he can reset by himself with his dome shield and get the fast heal anyhow. So you basically get the benefits of a gold armor, but you have 225 HP, which ends up being plus another 34, around 250, 250 something effective HP on him.
Yeah, that's not even counting his gun shield as well, ladies and gentlemen. So
yeah,
I think the numbers there can speak for themselves. SJP2 getting into it. Jelly got a lot of damage, but Seaback and Zinze have taken this team fight without a scratch on them so far.
Yeah, they're pushing forward into this bubble, and they have to counter bubble themselves. As again, bubble fights can be so dynamic here. And Denze just was not able to survive that. It's all up to Seaback here as he's trying his best. He's got the R301 and the EVA 8, clutches it out against AHG, and that is saying something. AHG love to bubble fight, but that time around they were caught off guard, and SJP2 are going to take them out early.
Yeah, now SJP2 getting some flack to third-party action. Players have heard this noise and coming to see what's up.
Yeah, there's the first knock. It's going to be Purge coming up this time, taking him out. And Seaback not able to reset there. He will go down. It's all up to Denze with 30 HP left, and he will fall. Purge gonna be the beneficiaries of 2 gold armors there.
Yeah, so pick of the litter on this one. A lot of loot to choose from. Throughout Apex Legends' history, I feel like they've tried to implement methods to allow teams to come back from and recover from the end of team fights a little bit more so that third parties aren't such a big deal. But, well, we see how that goes, right? These higher levels of Apex Legends players are going to smash any kind of benefit you do get from picking up shields and more reses and everything else.
Now, I was able to take a look at the ring from someone else, and it is going to continue to pull a little bit more south. A lot of Harvester is still in, but it looks like Gambit's positioning here is probably the proper one right now, as they've got good sight lines. They have, of course, got 180-degree cover to their back right now, and so I want to see what they can do with this. Fortunately, they don't have as many teams around them, and it's going to be a while before anyone's flushed out for them to try to get KP. So this isn't going to be a very proactive position for them.
Gambit has decent little positioning here. If you look on map, not necessarily, but they have a lot of cover around them, and teams in Harvester are mostly going to be paying attention to themselves and other teams coming up their backs. Harvester is always a absolute bloodbath of a location here in the Apex Legends map.
Also, as an update, our winners from game number 1, they ended up losing Hotzik early, and they were set up over here at basically the Connect area, the Hot Springs area, between Sorting Factory and Harvester. And so they're just going to be able to play, or they're just going to be playing it as a 2-man right now. As you can see, right now, I believe Flanker is the one that's getting some poke damage off onto Nasky, Strafe, and Dell, who last we saw were in that caravan. So at this point, I love what they're doing. They're making sure that they're still poking out and they're not playing afraid. And so it doesn't make it immediately apparent that currently Liquid are down as a duo. So it's going to be very hard to actually get that information. So teams might not be as ready to push onto them.
Yeah, I hear you. Just the simple, mass chaos of things going on right now, it would be hard to be able to tell that Liquid specifically is the one that is down a player. I hear what you're saying.
Nasky, Strafe, and Dell, though, if they can sniff that out, they will push that fight right now. 2 kill points already on Strafe, and it looks like they were able to maintain this position. No team's actually pushing it from the south, and so they're the ones who, honestly, are going to be sitting pretty for quite some time right now. Don't know exactly where the next ring is going, but now on board with Lazarus, who are holding the southern tip of Harvester.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get that information, but the only Pathfinder beacon still out is over there in Sorting Factory, and there's only a couple players even close to that. It's not their motivation right now to find that out. So a lot of teams left, like you said, 15 squads. That's 41 players. Only what, 1, 2 teams that aren't fighting a full 3. That's Epsilon and Hexa.
Yeah, Hexa were able to get one player back in. Epsilon's Noises, he was able to still stay alive, and he's riding it out somewhere on the western side of the map right now. Still, though, we've seen some crazy rat games coming out, so do not count a Wraith out until the end, but this is a bit more of the pace that we were expecting. Game number 1, I think, went a little bit faster than a lot of people could have predicted. A lot of early fighting on, a lot of edge fights happened throughout that.
Yeah. Again, game number 1, no reason not to get hyper aggressive. This is LZ, yeah, the Lazarus up top. Badoli Roger Broger, excuse me, and J Savage W. Wow, I just butchered their name. Sorry about that. But they're very, very well set up here. As we can see, the Watson pulls up everywhere. May move on along to a little bit more action.
Yeah, Purge now sitting on that. That's ridiculous. That's disgusting. I still hate seeing that. Yeah. He's basically all gold. I'm pretty sure as well they were able to pick up a gold backpack off the last team fight win.
And he's got an ultimate.
So yeah, gold helmet, gold armor, gold backpack. They are just completely Exodia'd out, or like Gilgamesh. I don't know exactly, but yeah, they are ready for this.
Question: how many shield cells do you rock with later game?
If I'm gold, I'm just gonna only stack shield cells. It's so great what the gold armor changes have done for the economy here. You can kind of course, swap around who gets what. So ASCII's going to be holding on to basically all the batteries, while K-Swinny and someone can just stack on cells.
K-Swinny hitting the 152 right there, as he's looking at a light show downside southwestern side of Harvester here. There's not really much of a reason for Purge and company to move around quite yet, right?
No, they've got the ring here. They've got control of the choke. All they need to do is make sure that they don't get flanked here. As this next ring is kind of a tricky one. This is actually a very tricky one. So Gambit are super fortunate with the position that they had early on. Like I said, it's not a proactive position, but it is a position that's easily defendable. And they can honestly just play for the late game, as everyone basically has to run to them. So in the mid game, less proactive. In the late game, though, that's where they can get super involved into a lot of third parties.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So this is a Purge squad that is very, very well set up, because they're going to be able to retreat back to this little western side of this mountain here, the lip, and they're still going to have that bare little mount on the top side, the north side of this mountain, to be able to get still through. As it is, it'll be very, very hard, a very tall order indeed for teams to come back, either flank them right here or to push up all the way up, because they have the vertical positioning as well.
We're on board with FOTM here, who are trying to take advantage of Nasky, Strafe, and Dell, who are still stuck inside this trailer. They have set up a port, but good damage came across from Noth with that G7 scout. So he's applying pressure onto them, and they can't really fire back because of this high ground position. Right now, though, FOTM, former VP, might be in a little bit of trouble, but doesn't look like too many people are actually turning their attention to them right now. So Noth is getting a lot of damage off right now, completely unanswered there. Gambit getting one from Liquid. Nocturnal will go down as well, and that is going to be the team finished off very shortly. It's just the Noth shield keeping them in this right now, though. But as Noth drops down, he's got a rock to work with. He's going to go ahead and drop down that Watson generator. As they get aggressive here, they'll be able to finish that off. But as soon as they finish that off, the entire kill feed lights up here, as it looks like Nasky, Strafe, and Dell might just be out of this as well.
Yeah, FOTM just got absolutely blessed here. Got a little bit of vertical advantage over on the side, and able to heal up a little bit. That Watson ultimate will come out quickly soon. And they have plenty of time to work with. Full 60 seconds to get on over here, as you're looking at 4 members that have top level shields. Not getting very, very low.
He does have the Watson generator to work with, though. Pop that ult Excel, got it right back down now. What I'm surprised about currently is, with all this fighting, that Gambit aren't being a bit more proactive on the map. FOTM, they still have to try and reset this fight right now. Good presence being shown by Taylor, covering for Noth currently, but the double peek comes out and Taylor tries to back off, and he will get knocked down. It's all up to Noth, but he has to just book it out of there. Drop down to about 5 HP. He's trying to survive for as long as possible, but he will get knocked himself. And it was Gambit from the high ground here, who's got such a great position. It looks like they're going to be the beneficiaries in this game right now. 6 squads remaining as we're on board with DF. They have that, the bubble going down to reset this fight.
They have 12 kills. DF has 12 kills. 1, 2, double digits, ladies and gentlemen.
They've been able to take nice fights here, and especially fight on the edge, pushing forward. using that DT well into this caustic gas here. They are a duo, but they understand exactly the position they're in. They're playing for all the kill points here as they get the first knock onto BDS's Sati. But now, Zhao Kai dropped down into that same position we saw earlier from FOTM and DF. This might just be it here as he uses Into the Void, comes right out into the face of two. Might be able to armor swap to survive longer. He does have that gold armor, but now he's getting damaged by the ring. He will be finished off. That's Purge to finish it off here, but now Gambit are gonna strike while the iron is hot.
Yeah, so Purge now with 6 different kills. Lots of fire going on here, but it just sucked watching that Gibraltar to actually getting caught in the corner. That's why he died there.
Gambit currently sitting on 7 kills, and they have the 3v3 fight now up against Alliance here. Alliance on the low ground. Ring is there for Gambit. Now Hardeki will back away just a bit, buy some space, find some cover to work with as well, as he has a Wraith portaling in from his right. Great understanding of the movement there, and he's going to be able to nail him with that. Wingman shots not quite connecting for him, but he did a lot of damage as they try to push once again. And the red Evo shield just getting cracked time and again. Hardeki just laying in on them.
Yeah, it seems like he should have hit some more of those Wingman shots. It's kind of wonky when the portal kind of takes effect, but he's definitely going to be paying attention to this one. Gambit's still in a very good position. They have Circle, and now with Leo getting the last little bit of health up, this is a fully healed squad.
Alliance, though, they have just swapped over to an Ultimate Excel on to IPN. Don't know exactly how much he's going to be able to get that. A second Ultimate Excel coming out. They have plenty of time to work with here now. They just have to make sure they get rid of the Watson generator. A third Ultimate Excel coming out for IPN. And they're going to have that Caustic Nox gas grenade to work with in this fight.
Emerson, that really could be the deciding factor here coming on last. That gas is so effective.
Though they have to get the information, he's going to toss it out. They don't see a Watson Jenny eating it, and that's going to cut off one of them. Hardeki trying to play the outside here, has to back off. He actually gets the knock onto Hawkins. Falling back, though, has to armor swap now. It's still a 2v3, but decent damage coming across as Artico will go down. Vice now moving forward. He's got that Mastiff out, and Alliance will take the win.
Nicely done. Alliance did a great job there. I kind of felt like they tossed the Caustic Ultimate out early, but what that did was effectively split this team and force them off of this wall a little bit. And so really great job looking towards the future and predicting, knowing where this opposing team was going to go. Gambit coming in second was still a very fabulous performance.
Yeah, and I feel like Gambit might have just given them way too much respect there. When you've got that 3v3, when you've got the advantage of just having the ring and knowing that Caustic has to push up for you, with all those bodies down there, you have to think and consider that maybe they do have the ultimate excels to try and get this ultimate once again. And giving him the time to pop three ultimate excels, that's kind of absurd. But we got to tabulate the results, and we're going to go ahead and take a halftime break. When we get back, it'll be the second half of the Esports Arena Apex Legends Weekly. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
The one that finishes it all off, and they will be able to take that win, Myth, with a huge game.
Moving in as the ring advances onto. That's going to be great for him. Instead, the drop down here.
Yeah, Psychop realizes, of course, with that good headshot that he got, having that skull piercer, he was able to deter that team that was just south of them. So he goes for peek now, but he might have bitten off a little bit more than he could chew. Has to get inside here as his armor's almost cracked. But Kremla's still up top, trying to get some damage on him. Sati through the window, getting a knock on to Rugby, now pushing up on top. Psychop with the wingman, having a little bit of difficulty, but he hits that last shot. Will be able to finish off Otter. That's Nasty Otter and Epsilon Ring. They need to be able to clear this team out. They've only got 27 seconds to do it. But good damage coming out from Rob. 71 onto that Watson. He will be able to get that knock. Drops, goes down. Excuse me, Mox goes down. They're going to be able to finish this off and maybe have a clear path for this rotation. No, Paradise goes down. Oh.
In the playgrounds. They thought they were safe. Somebody just on the right-hand side. Paradise looking particularly unhealthy at the minute, and if
they have a great position, they've got the high ground, they've got priority on this ring, and they've got the aim. got the bubble to work with as well. He's gonna go ahead and toss that out now as the fray is just taking place in front of them. I thought maybe Mirage was in there. Everyone was kind of moving in unison, and Zippit still able to connect with his shots, and AHG are gonna take the victory in game number 3. Along with that defensive bombardment. Oh, EP spots him out. But JMW picks up one. Maz, though, will bring down that duo. Never mind. Oxbow is the one that finishes it all off. And they will be able to take that win. Myth with a huge game.
Easy pick if someone's in the open. Doesn't take long for Havoc to go. Made on the knock on the promo, so they're just gonna push on with this. They're just pushing. They seem to be very comfortable in this area, not worried about any third. He gets his armor broken. Raid for each Chalice. He gets the knock with that Havoc on Bronze. He's gonna phase back, probably crank
Them as a duo, Rogue as a trio, looking to finish this all out.
And this is tough. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. This height on this side. Probably gonna win the game. Naps goes up. Tries to do as much as he can, but gets taken out. Not enough, and they will finish off that last goal knockdown, and that's game 1 right there. Looking up. And here it goes. No bubble yet, so that means that team's still up top. Timmy hits the zipline juggle, falls down, is gonna have to try to hit another zipline juggle, and it is just an absolute mess in there. Timmy hitting the juggle, dives to Storm, and you saw about 15 boxes pop up right there. Who knows what happened? And you got Rogue winning a second game? They seem to be shooting inside, so there might be 3 teams here, I'm not sure. I can't tell.
Go ahead and push forward. I think it might be Rogue.
I see a double kick on the door here. One goes down. Door opens. Pathfinder gets the. He's gonna get traded right here. A big right hook to the chest. Takes him out. They're just gonna get chipped at over and over again until they die. Once they get in this tunnel, it's probably over for them.
Kind of killing field. This train might help them out.
The train, it could, or it could push them into Storm.
Yeah.
It's going the wrong way. If it was going towards them, that would be absolutely massive. But it's just going the wrong way. But they have cover. They're probably rotating on the far side as we speak. Once this train disappears, we are going to see people on the right side. Yep, and here we go. Rocker gets knocked immediately.
Is the train the actual MVP?
Fresh is 1 HP, and they get a quick push, and they... Oh my goodness. The train. The terrain.
Oh my
provided
god.
the essential cover at the right moment.
Hey guys, if you're a Brimstone main, you're not going to want to miss this one because today we're going to be going over some molly placements that can improve your gameplay on the map split.
Muted.
I did it again. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the esports arena. EU Apex Legends Weekly here. Now we do have the tallies, and it looks like we are going to go straight into game. But Alliance now are currently sitting in first place with 35 points. Gambit are second with 31, and Liquid are now in third, trailing by 12 points at 19 points, and DF right behind them at 18 in fourth place. On board with, hold on just a second, I need to actually bring up the feed. A lot of things going wrong here, but yeah, a lot of shakeups in the leaderboard.
Yeah, the one way to put it, for sure. Alliance and Gambit solidly ahead, only 4 points separating them two, but it places 3 through 8 not that far away from each other. 6 points, that's only 6 kills, or like a 7th place finish or something like that. Very easily attainable. Gotta note this as well. Liquid 18 points in game number 1, only 1 point in game number 2. Now they are solidly in third, but that's not going to do them any favors, only putting up a point per game.
Yeah, unfortunately, losing Hotsick early on, they just weren't able to recover off of that. They still have 2 games, of course, to work with here. And like we said earlier, in a shorter format, 4-game format, anything can happen. We've seen, especially in game number 4s, where teams just absolutely frag out. So we'll see if they make a compositional change for that one, if they don't do well here.
Yes, sir. Looking at other members in the, North and AHG in that 9th and 10th position, but getting into game. Alliances, who is on board? They're just, classic time is spent looting right now. They're on the southeastern side of this circle. We look for a little bit more action in this lobby.
We'll say Liquid do have to be careful right now, as I think one of them was getting pushed just a little bit right now. Yeah, it's Nocturnal, who might be in trouble very shortly here, as he has to instantly queue out, as 3 members of, I don't know exactly who it was, it might be Gambit, might be on his tail right now.
Yeah, and he's going to be leading them into a solid little trap if his teammates, that's Flanker and that's Hotsick, are able to set this one up. Geyser will be the place that it happens, now getting a lot of flack from the back, and those 2 teammates are actually not that close, honestly.
They were a little bit spread apart, but it looks like they were able to recover, and Nock will be able to survive. And we said, being in third place right now, down 12 points, this is not a game that they can drop. It'll put a lot of pressure onto them in the third game, but it looks like we've got a lot of blue armors for them here, so a decent start at the very least.
So what we were mentioning earlier is that with the 18 points in game number 1, Liquid has purchased themselves a little bit of wiggle room to have more of a middle of pack performance, but just simply put, 1 point is not a middle of the pack performance. They need to put up, I would say at least, looking at 6 or 7, and then adding a little bit on top for the placement points.
Gambit actually are in trouble right now, as they're over here at Thermal Station with the ring pulling over this way, and they've already lost Leogree. If they can recover that banner, they do have the res to work with, but it's Hardeki who is leading the charge here, and so it looks like they're not going to be able to get that, and that's a huge pickoff, as again, Gambit currently sitting in second with 31 points.
That beacon is not too far away. Oh no, that's the excuse me. That's the respawn beacon. His body is solidly far away. Now plenty of time with which to do it, but 225 meters for a Wraith with no ultimate quite yet, after having just used it, is not just skipping distance.
It's literally impossible at this point. There are already 2 teams in position here going for what Hotsick calls the deep pocket principle, and I can exactly see why. If we bring up the map right now for Gambit, you can see how hard that ring pulls. Take a look at how much of it is actually off the map right now.
Yeah.
So much of the water covered in it, and so it is hard pulling down here. If it pulls over to Thermal Station proper, I would be surprised. And so having this position here is going to be super important, which is why we already see 2 teams taking that. Gambit, though, are going to have that much more of a difficult time holding on to this, because one of the teams already know 100% that they are playing as a duo.
Yeah, and there's 2 teams right to the south, direct south and southeast of them. So yeah, this is not going to be something they're going to hold down easily. And to your point there, look, how much of this is water? Probably 30% of that on the west side is water, and then still there's a mountain area covering, direct north and then a little bit to northwest. So this is a lot of area that's simply not inhabitable.
We should go over to Team 12 right now, who again have found themselves in another fight. This time it is not Hexagon. I actually watched Hexagon drop all the way over by Trials. So a different team that Epsilon are fighting against. I don't know exactly who it is. It was a team that rotated on over from Survey Camp right now, but the ring is already at their back. And so this might already be a fizzled fight, as we do have the Wraith portal in front of them. So it might be a complete disengage.
Yeah, I'm looking at a Wraith with only 38% in a circle that's pretty far away. They're going, obviously, they're going from corner to corner as well. This is not just a north, south, east, west movement, but both of them. Now going to be investing into the jump. This will save them a little bit of health and armor, but really where they land will decide whether or not they're going to be able to make it into circle, Jamerson.
They're pinging for that train station, and the team has been mirroring their movement the entire time, though.
Yeah.
Right on board with Triumph. We're actually in the thick of things right now. There are two teams here. It's going to be a full-on fight as Graceful is looking for an entry. And so we'll see if he can get in, but it looks like this is another squad that's made that Wraithless composition swap as well. Graceful going over to the Gibraltar for that team. A lot of fighting going on around the edges right now, but it looks like this fight is not going to be anything at all. We did have a knock. I don't know exactly where it was coming out from, but if we take a look once again at Gambit and take a look at the map from that perspective, there are so many squads now here. It looks like 5 teams total taking residence up in the deep pocket, like Hotsick likes to call it here, over on the southwest side of Thermal Station. So this position is going to be that much more harder to try and hold. But it could also work in the other way, where there are so many teams here that no one wants to push.
Yeah, like nobody wants to smoke. Nobody wants to come in here and fall out close to, circle 2 and so. And like you said, Gambit, other teams may not know that there's only a duo squad. If it was, their time on this map may be kind of short, Jamerson.
And we should go back over to Epsilon right now. Team 12, we're in that fight once again. The team that was trailing them. It was Third Impact's Balon's team. And already that is going to be the wipe. They will be able to clean that up. And that was some just dogged determination coming out from them, making sure that they were able to win out that fight. They already had the advantage. They were outside of the ring, and so they were taking a lot of damage the entire time. As we're over here with Lazarus, Roger Bodger, Jay Savage, W, and Badoli. And, it doesn't look like they have information about where the ring is. So they actually might be happy with this position right now because there are so many teams to their north, and so they can gatekeep from this position.
Especially given there's a lot of open area to their north and northwest. Like you were saying, gatekeeping is going to be definitely in the game plan for this LZR squad. That's Lazarus, correct?
Correct.
Gotcha. Fully set up as well. Got the Watson ultimate out. Now just gonna be getting a little bit of interest over the side. Not gonna let their opponents, get too comfortable, right?
Yeah. Again, we are on board with SJP2 right now, who have found a nice bit of cover here. So, like, if you weren't aware of this position, this is a nice position that you can hold a lot of cover to work with right now. But teams are quickly realizing that pull down to the south is a dangerous one. If we can get on board with North, though, right now, who are in the middle of a fight, it looks like they will be able to get the res onto Mantrosser. But as soon as he gets back up, he goes right back down. The caustic gas coming in from Madison, along with the R99 spray to finish him off. Good high ground position, though, but it's getting challenged now as Dennis goes over the top, forces him out, peeks on down, sees 2, has to back away as he and Madison are dropped to about 40 HP, resetting this fight for now. It's RPR holding this high ground position. Madison will get knocked, buying it north some more time. It was Triumph who was getting in on this third party, but Dennis will be able to get that knock. Dennis finishing off Mandy, and now both teams looking to just try their best to recover from this position.
Yeah, North gonna be ousted from this one, so
Contact with hostile.
It looks like it was
playing the old life, I believe. I'm sorry?
Sorry, you were cutting out there, but it looks like it was BDS also getting involved in that third party. So Triumph and BDS with some nice angles to fire in on them. I believe BDS are playing from the top of Thermal Tower currently.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not sure if you heard me, but North just got deleted. That's the second or third squad actually out, and the only one that was playing the lifeline. So interesting stuff. On with BDS.
Yeah, Hexa just got knocked out as well as it looks like. If we go on board with BDS, never mind, we're on board with Jazz, Balon, and Ziki. But here we go, BDS now making a push, but Psychop took a lot of damage along with QT, but the Mastiff is here covering it all out. OTT will be knocked out of that one. And Triumph's going to be happy that someone was able to clean up those kills for them.
So it seems every time you switch to a new one, entire team's falling. 1, 2, 3, 4 full squads deleted on down to 16 left. Loads of players still alive. We're on board with Jazz and company, and they have, what, 6 kills already? 5 kills already?
Yeah, swapped over to Triumph, though, finally making that push onto the team that was in the other building. Maydi does have to back away, and it looks like that's the end of that fight. And so it's going to be a little bit of a wet noodle fight between these two teams, as they're just not able to get that clean engage. Our Triumph, they really do want to deal with that team, but as you can see right now, BDS taking a lot of damage, and 2 of them are currently knocked. They will be able to recover, and it's Jazz, Ziki, and Valon on the low ground here that got involved in that fight.
Oh, so that's Psychop trying to get on over to this one, realizing that's just simply not going to happen. Come back. Now got that. No, attempts for the shield battery. Now Phoenix, that's a smarter move. I maybe put a caustic trap up in the front in case shots come in. You use this for cover. It's definitely a higher level caustic move. But you realize that putting this out and using it for cover, forcing your opponents to at least put 1 shot down bottom if they want to delete it. Otherwise, you have yourself a solid little bit of cover and the smoke coming out and the gas coming out from it for at least a few seconds.
I love this move coming out from Jazz and company currently. We're just riding the rails, essentially, on the south side of Thermal to make the rotation here. It's actually Liquid that's on top of the tower right now, getting some decent poke, but they will have to give up this position shortly. SJP2 haven't moved away from this position, and really, they're not forced to do anything at all whatsoever currently here, and they're just going to passively heal up right now.
Is what Jazz has is what you call her a poke. That was like a javelin up top. Man's got 4 kills, and you can see why. He got a lot of long-range wingman damage there. Ziki falling up top.
Yeah, it's going to be DF coming in for that one. And see as Zhao Kai will also drop down onto them. You can swap on over to that fight, but it's going back and forth. Jazz picks up 2. Now, tides have turned for DF, but Kaká will be able to get at least 1 thirst, and now he's getting pressured in. I believe that might be Liquid coming in for this third party. Now, it's going to be Jazz to finish that off. Balon G will be able to survive with that, as now it's just him alone, though, trapping up that portal as he's able to trail it all the way. Portal back into it, but now he's over peaking. It's the power tower that's doing a lot of damage to them, and he will ultimately fall. It's Badoli to clean that one up. As we go back on board with SJP2, who have not moved from this position whatsoever. We should go over to Triumph right now, Team 10, who are going to be in the thick of things here. 4 teams around them right now, of course, contending with the squad that's in that building to the northwest. There's a squad to their east and another squad moving down from the hill further northwest from them right now as the zone does close in on them. They do have the fences here on the high ground. They do not have to jump down, I believe, from this position.
So interesting stuff. Triumph has been involved in a lot of team fights so far, but only has 1 kill for the entire team thus far. Graceful now investing that ultimate, trying to edge these teams out as they're trying to come in, but they got plenty of time. That might actually be a little bit early, right?
Yeah, triple jump out coming in from that squad. Not entirely too sure who it is, but they're going to jump right into that as they're getting decent damage, but they're not getting the knocks quite yet, and this is taking too long. It's AHG coming in as Purge pick off 2, though. AHG have lost Zipith. Matave will get finished off by Badoli somewhere else now as May D will fall. It's all up to Graceful here. They're going to be able to clear that out. He's going to get the res onto May D, but JMW will not be able to survive. They do have the respawn beacon right there, though.
Yeah, Kuya actually was able to get out of dodge on this one and got not 1 but 2 kills out of it. So he's going to be healed up all the way, and depending on how much time it is, he even has this Wraith Portal, might be able to get back over there and get those recoveries. Not sure how many recovery places there are left on this map, though. Actually, he's playing his hand here and showing where he was at. Not sure if that was the play.
Yeah, he does have to clear his back, and now this play is going to be difficult because he wants to try and stop this res because really there's only this opportunity for him to try and get his team back into this, but it's already been used, and so Triumph will be back up at full force now on board with BDS, who are fighting over the circle building currently now. And again, they got 50 seconds. They've got to make a move shortly here, especially with the fact that they have a lot of ground to cover. Wraith Portal can be used by Crema if he wants to get into position for this, and they've already got a ping down. The distance isn't too far for a Wraith to reach with the portal from here. Don't know if it's exactly in cover, though.
It's not the distance, it's the travel, though. It's what these teams are going to have to encounter on the way. Krama actually getting just free real estate on here, yardage all day. Look at that. He got a little bit of flack from one side, but just like that, and he has time to go back and heal, too. Very good play here by BVS.
Not absolutely pressured, so he will be able to just stand guard over this port. And they get in here. Again, though, the rotations from the north, they have to also keep an eye on their back currently. They cannot let down their guard whatsoever. Triumph will finally finish off Kuya here as Flanker finds himself another kill. Hotsick, that's going to be Nasky, Strafe, and Dell getting cleaned up off the map here. And let me see exactly where they are. Nasky, Strafe, and Dell currently sitting at 18th place with 4 points. Oh, Crema getting knocked. Nocturnal. This is what we're talking about. Liquid need a big game, and these are some really great mid-game kills for them as we're on board with Triumph now, but it looks like Graceful might go down. Liquid themselves making that rotation. That was one of the teams that was coming in from Thermal Station proper. They have a little bit of cover to work with here, trying to go for the reset as Hotsick is trying to use that med kit. Armor swaps off. Flanker goes down as Hotsick is trying his best to stay alive, but the caustic gas is coming in as well, and he's got no better option but to try and heal up on the high ground here. Try to jump in, but it's not going to be enough. Hotsick will go down as Knock is still alive here, and we can see how long he can rat this out for.
Liquid has 3 kills, but we just watched Hotsick play a little ring around the rosy with himself for, what, 20 seconds there, Jamerson? As a method of trying to avoid damage and heal up at the same time, but just a Dax Tech against him, a lot of factors coming in and providing pressure. Not sure if he's going to be able to live through this one and get rezzed up.
Na'Vi safely inside the circle right now as it looks like he used possibly the Caustic Nox gas in on that house to try and clear it out. But here in this position, 8 squads left, 22 players remaining. Not a lot of real estate left to work with here. There are some points of cover, not the greatest, so you can try to play behind fences. But again, it's so porous that people can sneak in shots through that. It's about having control of these buildings, as you can see on board with Alliance now. It was that team, I believe, that Na'Vi were contesting just a second ago.
Yeah, Alliance, one kill for the squad, so 8 squads left. 2 of them are not full, but 6 of them are, so we're looking at 3 full trios coming on into the last. Vave's going to be looking for himself a better shield than that, but Na'Vi going to be where we're pointing our attention right now.
This is bad, this is bad. The third party for Na'Vi, this could be huge for them, but Alliance, they're trading away, and so they know, they understand exactly what's going on in this fight. They're going to go ahead and pull the trigger now. R9 spray down, excuse me, Alternator spray down for 9 Impulse, but he has to back away. Oh no, there's another Caustic in his way, but he's got the Devo, and we'll be able to finish him off and gets inside safely here. We'll throw down another trap as the Watson tries to push through. 9 Impulse coming up huge with that Devo play along with that Caustic. They're going to be able to pick up 2 kills off of BDS here.
I am so glad that was caught on camera here. Simps coming through, and usually that's something you might see a little bit of, lower level Apex Legends, you might say. Players not pushing it back and just literally coming up, not even aiming down scope, just hip firing on in and getting a lot of damage off the gold dip footage.
And for the grace of basically Na'Vi at that point, SJP2 were able to stabilize and back up the full 3 on board with the Outsiders right now, who find former VP, take them out, but Na'Vi will be able to get the knock onto Mistral. As we swap on over to KD's point of view here, they need to get over to the western edge, but this is a little bit of a dangerous play. Will, looks like, safely make it on over. Na'Vi here, spot out to the team to their northwest. Decent damage coming across from Faizu, but this rotation is going to be difficult. They have 2 teams to contend with to their northwest, I believe. Right now, as we're on board with Claws, has to back away with that Havoc, has time to reset here, but they do get the knock onto Outsiders KD.
20 seconds. Or what we're looking at is the last little bit of time with which to make a game plan, heal up, and then push on to the last little bit of our 6th and then into 7th circle, Jamerson. A couple different teams. We're going to see how this shakes down.
Yeah, SJP2 now pushing forward with that Gibraltar Dome shield. Instant Q out from that Wraith as he picks up some more light armor to work with. He was dropping dangerously low, but speaking of dangerously low, the R9 spray brings that Caustic down as KD will be finished off to the ring at this. I think they just pinged Nocturnal, who's over at the edge of the ring. Mistrals, though, he was able to get res, and now he's putting in work as Faizu and 9 Impulse will fall to him. They finally answer back as Claws will be able to clean him up, but so much unanswered damage now as SJP2 are going to be able to clean up the remnants of Na'Vi now. And the final player alive is Nocturnal, who is ratting. They were pinging it the entire time, but Nocturnal stays alive, making it all the way to 2nd, and that'll help out Liquid immensely.
Wow, so SJP2 coming through not just with a W after being very, very well set up there. They had 3 different players, full shields, lots of ammo, communication, coordination coming through all the way, and then 12 kills to end this game out, Jamerson. 12. That's 30 points with the first place placement bonus. That's 12 points for the placement. And then, 24. Sorry, 12 from the kills, 12 from the placement. Sorry.
Almost at 30, though, with the 4 that they had leading into this. So they'll be at 28 coming in. And so that would put them at 3rd. We got to see exactly where Liquid landed on that one. They had 19 points coming into this game. They get the 9 plus the 3 plus the 12. That'll put them at 31. So it looks like SJP2 will be moving possibly up to 4th place with that game.
Yeah, still a lot of Apex Legends we played in our 4th game now. But like you were saying, these leaderboards just being shaken up a little bit. That's just SJP2 coming from 15th to, again, we believe 4th place. Okay, huge performance in this game, nets them a lot of value on our leaderboards.
Yeah, so there should be a lot of shakeup indeed. Let's take a look at where Gambit ended up. So Gambit got 5th place there with 2 kill points. Then, of course, another team we have to keep an eye on currently is Alliance. Alliance ended 8th place with 1 KP. And so don't know exactly where we are on the leaderboard with that. We do have some early updates, though. And so it looks like Alliance are still safely in 1st place currently.
Yeah, 55.
So yeah, don't know if we actually have the graphic up for it. I'm just saying numbers and placement points right now. We will have the placements very shortly though. But yeah, again, the shakeups so far, but our top 5 look very competitive.
So speaking of, we're looking at is a 1st place Alliance team ahead by 8 points. Again, this can be completely up and down. That's you could see a team that gets no kills and then just snakes their way into 2nd or 3rd and could then even out that scoreline, right? Gambit is in 47th, is in 2nd at 47th. So a lot of different ways to summit that and to top points out, but that'll be decided in our game number 4, Jamerson.
Yeah, game number 4. A lot of these teams might be a little bit down and be like, oh no, we're completely out. But we've seen a lot of the teams that end up in the middle of the pack just go for broke style where they absolutely slay out. So game number 4 should still be absolutely entertaining here, as it looks like, yeah, right now. Let's see.
55 seems like kind of a lot. We're still getting confirmed numbers and whatnot coming in for you guys. 55 in 3 games would be absolutely massive, right? Like an average of 17 points or something like that per 18 points per.
Yeah, there were some revisions, I
Yep.
think, to the scoreboard, so we'll find out in just a moment. But yeah, thank you to our admins, of course, for keeping track of all this for us.
Mm.
I'm really excited to see how it shakes up with SJP2's performance, like you said. Um, Getting their way up into fourth place is going to be huge for them. That
Mhm.
buys, they're now vying for a top three finish, finishing in the money. And $1,000, right, or $500 for first place might not seem like a lot, especially for like North American viewers, but that
Mm.
$500 goes a lot further in different countries across the world. A lot
Oh,
of the Eastern
absolutely.
Bloc would absolutely appreciate that. So, even though it's not exactly what's offered during the online tournaments with the ALGS, it's
Mm.
still money that these players would welcome, especially in competitive Apex.
Yeah, exactly, right? $30 entry fee for the team and the regularity, the consistency of the esports arenas, Apex Legends stuff on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I think there's not much to complain about on that one. But like you said, $500 going on to first. Second place is going to be getting themselves $300, and then third place is going to be net themselves $200. And again, guys, that's for playing some Apex Legends.
Yeah, currently just taking a look at our spreadsheet right now as the scores are getting updated in real time currently though. We do have to mention though a lot of these teams basically in the lower half currently, surprisingly so. Teams like North, teams like Triumph, Nasky
Mm.
Strafe and Dell, we would not expect them to be in these positions so far, and it's very surprising. So I don't know exactly what they can do. Didn't see as much of them. We saw AHG early on, I believe, in game number one, where they were taking, of
Mm.
course, the edge fights like they normally like to. But they haven't been able to get anything going so far, and that's surprising because they ended up second in their lobby. So I don't know what they could change up to going into game number 4.
I think that it's we've gotten to catch a lot of these, but a lot of it's been flashes in the pan. North FOTM, that's flavor of the month. AHG Triumph and Lazarus, definitely that 13th through 17th here. We got a little bit of their action on camera or on stream, but obviously the real kicker here, the real name of the game is to just simply be getting down to at least that top 7 or so. Once you're guaranteed multiple points for the placement, that's going to be money all day long. And just logically, mathematically, you can forego a little bit of progress when it comes to kills once you have that netted that placement point. So interesting stuff. We'll see how these guys come through. We've already seen that the teams, with almost a 20 points per game for the first place team, we can still see that this is definitely being able to be shaken up a lot. First, second, and third not guaranteed by any means here.
Yeah, indeed. Looks like they might have actually started the lobby before I was able to get back in. I was
Uh-oh.
kicked for being AFK. So, and that's unfortunate. So I'm not gonna have that information to
Feels
work
bad.
off of. Yeah,
All gravy.
kind of
All gravy.
sucks. But it sounded like they already got the ready noises and everything going on. And we're having also difficulty. I'm having difficulty at least watching the stream here on the thing. So I don't know if we can
Okay.
fix that right now.
We want to.
But yeah, we've got a lot of issues going on.
Gotcha. Good. The floating voice in our heads telling us that they're restarting it. We'll get this set up here in just a second. And I do believe these numbers are decently well solidified. This is number 1 placement. Alliance, 38 points coming into our game number 4. Gambit, 37 points, 1 point behind. Difference of one kill point or a couple different places here in the top 10 or top 15. And then Liquid coming in for 31. Now SJP2 again coming in from 15th place, guys. 15th place. Now just outside the money, 3 points behind Liquid at 28 points.
Yeah, I'm hearing game audio. I'm not seeing game audio, so I'm having a little bit of difficulty right now.
Oh gravy, oh gravy. I am on board with. Let's watch this stream. Get on board with Gambit. We've been seeing plenty of them on stream so far, and they're going on over to the sorting factory. Gonna be starting on Banana here soon.
Yeah, they do have the beacon to work with as well, so we should get that early information. Now we'll see exactly how this match breaks
I do
down.
love that. Do love that a lot. Players providing that decent early. Now, something I saw that warms my heart as well, Jamerston, is players using the longbow again. Not really something you see so much anymore.
Yeah, if you could pick up the Skull Piercer with it, it's absolutely great. Looks like there's an issue with this server, or it might be a spectator bug right now. Are we on board with Krema over here at Skyhook? Took a lot of damage, doesn't have, I don't know if he's got the white heals for it. As he turns the corner, I mean, we get to see that in slow time. SJP2 losing Jellied Corn early on.
Gotcha. So yeah, that'll be all gravy soon. Like you said, Kramer here, a lot of damage on him. Does have that Sentinel on the Eva, so a little bit of long range, a little bit of short range. Maybe that's the positive way to look at that one. Already have, what, one player down, it seems, kind of earlier on in this game. That is SJP2 Jellied Corn. Yeah, gonna be down, but obviously the recovery not impossible yet.
Yeah, they need to close out this fight, BDS do, because they are currently sitting 4 points behind SJP2. If they can knock out one of the top 5, one of the top 4, that would, of course, increase their chances in winning this. And so they want to commit onto this fight. They want to clear them out. 7 on the Eva from long range. The Sentinel getting reloaded here, as it's going to be difficult contending, of course, with that Gibraltar arm shield that can eat up an entire shot. But the headshot, the 95 connecting onto him with the 147. Denze goes down, and now BDS are going to knock out one of the top competition for themselves.
Yeah, just like that, this entire lobby made it a little bit easier for everybody else, right? These players always going to be getting a lot of damage, and now. What? Who was I observing just there? That was SJP2, who's already down.
Oh, but here comes the third party from OTT, and oh no! Both SJP2 and BDS Esports might be finished off here. That is BDS out. And that was a quick one fell swoop. 2 over the top 5 out now. That opens it up. For the middle of the pack to try and make a run for it. It's all up to Alliance, Gambit, and Liquid to survive into the late game.
We're on board here with Streamy. And,
we should go on board with Epsilon right now, I believe.
I'm down. Yep.
Yeah, Team 12.
Open supply bin over
There we go. Over at Survey Camp, we saw they got into a fight here earlier, well, in game number 3. And I think they want to get their revenge right now. There should be a team nearby, but they haven't been able to find the fight quite yet.
Epsilon and company, they're now just getting on into circle. A lot of ultimates and more on board. What they're going to be looking at is noises and instyles, looking at their defensive capabilities. Want to get them better shields and more wingman havoc being opted from Otter. What that tells me is this is a team that's pretty well set up and they have found what they wanted loot-wise. Now moving on in towards the middle of the circle. A lot of action going on in what we're on board with here as Epsilon is moving on along, not 100% sure. Looking at the map though, this is still almost everybody within this next circle. No information for us casters quite yet. No, here we go actually. So this is the next one going just to the west of Fragment West, mostly going to be on Yard.
Yeah, I think this one pulls over to the north end side as J Savage W of Lazarus gets finished off here. So north of Train Yard, basically over by, to the east of Drill Site, along the mountain wall, I think is where it's going to roughly end. See if they try to recover this, as we're on board now with AHG. They got into a fight with Triumph here. Have to back away. And one of the teams fighting over at Drill Site currently, as Matafe gets finished off.
Triumph, who we're looking at, that's going to be the eye of our affection for right now. 1 kill for this squad, as team's not super far away, but they have lots of other teams right near them, Jamerson.
Surprised that Triumph, with this information, with that Pathfinder beacon, they're considering going into the center of Train Yard proper. This is a dangerous move, a dangerous maneuver coming out for the team to try and zipline across, because you've got so many teams that are just ready, willing, waiting for this. They're right on top of them. The caustic gas is there. May-D isn't able to see anything yet. He pulls out the R9, gets some decent damage off, but Na'Vi will be able to clean that up. Triumph go down, and Triumph, they were sitting at 14th place for this, and Na'Vi needed these kills. They were sitting at 8th with 17 points. That's 3 kills going over to them. On board with Nasky Strafendel, though. This is one of the teams, that were just in the vicinity of Epsilon. They're able to get that.
3 kills for these guys. I gotta say, Triumph, the one mistake that they made was graceful using his Gibraltar bubble earlier. If they'd have had that as they were coming in, this might have been a different story. We'd still be watching this team going at it, but as it is, no abilities to really defensively hold that push. They're getting super aggressive there. But like you said, Nasky, Strafe, and Dell being where we're looking at now. Now moving on along, this is team number 16, Alliance and IPs, Strafes, and IPN. A little bit done here. Train yard, again, always a electrifying place.
Yeah, they've got a great position, though, set up over here. And I don't think they really need to press the issue. Again, it's about making sure that you get to the late game. 15 squads left, so they placed in placements already. But with the 1 point difference between them and Gambit, they cannot let go of the gas. But they also need to make sure they make it into the late game. So now they're poking away at this team. It's playing inside the tunnel, and I love this position, but I don't love the positioning of the Watson traps.
Like you were saying, a lead of 1 is no lead indeed. They really, really want to be getting through here. Now, they are on the money, but that's not going to be enough for them. I definitely know that they're not going to be happy with that. Vapes hanging on the ledge here, trying to get the information that is needed. Like you said, they know where these teams are going to be coming from. They're decently well set up, charge rifle in hand.
There we go, AHG. It looks like they were able to recover Matafe and get that res onto him. Trying to buy some time for him, as he does need to re-kit up. It's Outsiders who are playing on the other side. They do finish off Nook and Darken, though, and so it might have just been a pinch, actually, coming out from them. So the Silta will get res back up. Here we go with AHG once again, holding position over here at Drill Site. I know exactly who that is to their north right now, but the Havoc Fire is enough to ward them off for now.
Yeah, this is OS dead center of this circle. We'll be getting information on that now, and now they're just a little bit lower. So really, again, not bad position for them. They could hang out in the train yard. Good job here, right? Or hang out in this area right here, not in train yard to the west. Excuse me.
Yeah, Drill Site right now, playing over by, I guess, the cafeteria here. They, I love this position. They can definitely play for the gatekeep, try to keep out the teams that are coming in from the northwest. This is one of the more positions that I want to see being held, as we saw Zipith looking over to the northeast, holding that ridge line. But you kind of have to play the circumstances, right? They had to get the res onto Matafe, so they didn't have the priority on that position.
Positioning always going to be huge in this battle royale game, pretty much any of them. Moving on along here. We looking for the courageous res. Plenty of time for this squad to get inside, but I think we just caught this at the end of the team fight.
No, Gambit got the knock onto him. Now they're getting chased by Gambit here. This is a dangerous fight here on the edge. Ziki taking so much damage, trying his best to jump on that zip line. It's Hardeki that gets the knock with the Mastiff from downtown. Zbalon G, you know, the sacrifice was made. He's going to be able to reset and get his health back up to 200 HP. But will they be able to recover Ziki here?
Yeah, I can dig what Balloon did. They got a lot of projectiles down bottom there, but now in this perfect little corner and just enough vertically to cover both of these players. Now Ziki's just going to be really trying to stay low-key here, heal up, and get with the rest of his team. 50 seconds to go, plenty of time.
Nasky, Strafe, and Dell coming in for the third party are able to get that kill onto Artico, and now they are on the back foot. They were the aggressors beforehand. Leo Green now dropped down to 40 HP, and Hardeki might have to call it at this point, leave his teammate and just make sure that he can at least survive to make it into the late game here.
We're looking at what Nasky, Strafe, and Dell just finished up here. I have enough time to use ultimate accelerants and more. Watching is Gambit. Gambit going at it here. This is a team. This is always a place that's super busy and place where people pinch out teams that are moving circle.
I'm surprised actually seeing Nasty, Strafe, and Dell here. They're usually a team that plays over at East Cap, and that's not a rotation I'm used to seeing. Oh, K-Swinny has gone down, and this was the position we were talking about that AHG were kind of looking over so far, or at least one of the positions I was thinking of right now. The EVA 8, a lot of it into that arm shield, as someone will go down, and that's going to be AHG pushing that one. And I don't know exactly what went on in that fight, but I guess they might have been playing a little bit too passively there. On board now with DF, who are in a safe position here over at Train Yard.
Surge, Purge, come through. Not able to keep up with the pressure on that one. DF, I love this position. I think everybody does. Up here, it's just so easy to see anybody coming, especially when you throw in a Gibraltar ultimate whenever you want to. It's going to be money all day long, Jamerson.
Yeah, so this is just, third-party central at this point. So their DF have been doing a really good job across the last 3 games of being able to get the long-range poking, find kill points along the way, which currently has them at 6th place with 20 points. Here we go with Flavor of the Month, who, they weren't able to play in the middle of the ring, but I like them holding out here on this choke. This is a rather safe position, but again, it comes down to where will this ring pull, and it looks like it is going to pull a little bit north, and this is kind of what I was expecting when we saw that ring earlier.
This is Flavor of the Month. Try not to get pushed out here from the side. They're just inside circle, and they do have a nice little bit of mountain here for cover and whatnot, but we'll see how Taylor, Noth, and TJ get it done here.
Nasty Strafe and Dell trying to make it through connector. They don't really have many other options. Dell will try to stand guard for his team. Strafe has been able to full heal here, but the Q is forced out by Dell as the nade landed right behind him, just rolled out of it. But they will have a little bit of cover to work with as the caustic gas is committed into this, and that actually buys them so much time. That's OTT's gas. Now, as Streamy does try to push forward with it, he's got that DT, spots them out, but he doesn't know there's a man on his right, and he's not going to chase after it. Now, they don't have to push because, of course, they're the ones with priority. They're the ones that are gatekeeping right now.
Okay, yeah, Dell, Nasty, Strafe, and Dell knew there was somebody behind them. Now, Nasty, Strafe, and Dell coming through here, they do have the most kills in this at 5. They would pay actual money to have a different way to get it out of here outside of just this little cavern here. As it is, there's really nothing.
Here's North pushing onto Flavor of the Month. Currently, Mandy does have that Kraber. Landed a decent shot here, but RPR's taking a lot of damage. They need to go for that reset right now, fighting inside the bubble. But as Mandy goes over the top, will throw down a bubble of his own, and Taishin desperately needs it. I don't know if he was able to get underneath it, but here comes some cells. Another connect with that Kraber. He's got 3 shots left, but he's making each and every one count right now, forcing out that port. And it looks like they will be able to safely get away. They might not have enough time to heal up, and that's why they are on the hunt with it. Mandy, immediately regretting that, will go ahead and back away, as they were able to get a knock onto one of the outsiders here. And Mandy showing us off the finisher. You'll be able to get the extra shields off of that.
Yeah, so obviously the change coming there. Whenever you do execute somebody, give yourself full of shields on that. During all this, I had to shout out Nasty, Strafe, and Dell tried for the very courageous outside push. Where you see how that finished, though.
Yeah, they couldn't push into a Gambit, and so trying to make that rotation, I understand it. Flavor of the Month, though, gets spotted out. And now there's a nade. Does he break LOS? He does not. We'll be able to clean that up. Gambit needed those kills, by the way. Again, we had a 1-point difference between Alliance and Gambit going into this game. So those are huge pickups for them. So we can see on this mini-map here for Noth that, that ring is pulling north. There are parts of Train Yard that are still in. And this next ring is basically going to spell the story of the rest of this match.
I mean, Jamerson, look at this middle part. There's really not a whole lot of... Yeah, there's so much open area here. This is going to be so beneficial for these north side teams that are already over here and do not have to make that trek.
Yeah, and there's that pull all the way up to the north like I was expecting coming out for this ring. And so every team that thought that it was going over to Train Yard here are kind of cursing themselves, because there are so many teams on down to the south. On board with AHG, controlling this northern position. This is the position I was talking about that I really wanted to see teams fight over. AHG under a little bit of pressure as that Watson generator does get cleaned up, but nothing really for them to worry about, as again, most of the action is going to be taking place to the south. Odzik with a nice knock on to Gambit might do Alliance a huge favor.
Yeah, Odzik has shown what he can do with that Kraber before. We're on HG, I believe. Yeah, HG, and they're getting a lot done over here. They have such a good position, high ground and more over here.
There we go. Spots one out. Decent damage with that Havoc, and he's got a lot of ammo to work with, topping off once again. And it's so scary when you have to face off in a close range battle up against a Gibraltar that has a Havoc and an even 8. So he is ready for those dome battles as Kuya upgrades to that red Evo shield.
Yeah, gotta shout this out. Matafe over here using the wingman and the P2020. I can guarantee you that's a P2020 that do have those hop ups on it. So what the idea there obviously is wasting out shields with the wingman, finishing people off with the P2020.
The headshot damage on it, once you get down to flesh, is absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
Being a nuisance is Zippeth, as he's just trying to deal with that Watson Jenny. We saw the Gibraltar ultimate coming down now. Ooh, getting poked. Does have to be careful. It's a full team in front of him right now. They have to control this western side right now, as they do have an arc star coming out. One person pinned behind the rocks, tries to slide away, doesn't actually connect with that arc star, but he does with the Havoc, doing 38 damage here. Now the pressure is on this team, as it looks like the knock might be coming in very shortly. Kuya able to get the knock onto Liquid's flanker, and DF also getting in on this, as Hotzik will fall as well. One of the top 3 teams now down to a solo player here, Nocturnal. Will he be able to keep them alive? He was able to rat it out into top 2 last time for them, as we have a little bit of lag, as North himself will be able to finish off OTT. OTT were the gatekeepers of GSD. And so this is actually a position that I don't know if AHG are aware, but that does place, I believe, North directly east of them currently.
North directly east. I love what you did. Looking on with Zippeth. A lot of pressure down bottom. Again, this is an AHG squad that has no reason in the world to move away from their position. They got Watson poles everywhere. They got a Zippeth. Gibraltar will have his ultimate soon. And Kuthia with that red diving shield. They're going to be A-okay.
And Liquid do get finished off. Did they do enough to maintain the top 3 here? It's going to be important. Now, as Na'Vi getting pressured, Lazarus will be finished off themselves. Now we are into the top 3 position. Drop down from North. Na'Vi losing 2 there. Now it's all up to Claws to try and keep this alive for his team.
They're not going to be able to do it. Was trying to get the help from the teammates' knockdown shield, but different angles and more results in the end of that one. Now 2 squads left, Jamerson.
So all to AHG here. Remember, they started off with 11 points going into game number 4. How high can they catapult themselves? Have they done enough to maybe try and even break in to the top 3? I can't see how many kills they have. I only see that Zippeth currently has 2 because I'm not in game. So I don't know exactly.
Total. Zippeth has 2, Kuya has 2. North on their side, RPR has 7, Mandy has 1, Taishin none. So North with 8 kills, HG with 4.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be enough, but hey, you got to lay it all on the line here.
Yes.
In this full 3v3 fight. RPR currently sitting as the kill leader for the game, connects with 47 on the flesh, and now he's going to try and push forward. Good shots coming in from that wingman. We have the Gibraltar ultimate coming out early to try and disengage and buy some time for them. Here we go, the port out now as RPR closing the distance, getting them safely behind this caravan here. They do have the initiative. Again, using these throwables. I don't know if there's a Watson Jenny down. Looks like there might be.
There is. Yeah, for AHG there is. From North, not sure if they're able to move on into that one. Mande does have that ultimate, Gibraltar ultimate coming on out. They have nothing above them.
Well, former teammates fighting it out right now. Taishin and Mandy had to say goodbye to Matafe. Never got to see full North compete, but now we do get to see them battle it out here. Big damage coming across. He does have the Peacekeeper trying to lay into them, but he's getting forced and pressured out. He has to queue down, but Manditrasa and Taishin will be able to find 2, and now it's a 1v3 to finish it all off. He's got the PK in hand. Did decent damage, and they're gonna get the melee knock onto Kuya. They just have to finish off the thirst, and it looks like Kuya is the final member alive, and North will walk away here with the 4th game victory, but I don't know if it was enough for them to break into the top 3.
So 11 kills here, Jamerson, and add 12 points on top for the placement bonuses. It's a 23-point game for them. Like you said, the math not coming to me readily, but a very, very impressive performance, and especially for a team that was on the move, that was playing off the back foot the entirety of that last 3v3 push against AHG.
Yeah, North tried to take a lot of edge fights throughout all of our 4 games there, and their kind of movement throughout this one was fairly interesting. I'm surprised they didn't pick up more kills the way that they were controlling the, well, I mean, playing the north-hand side that entire time. So congratulations on taking that 4th victory, but I don't think that's enough points. We're going to take a short break. We're going to tabulate all the results, but when we get back, we will, well, basically have the results for you. So don't go anywhere, guys. This is the Esports Arena EU Weekly.
Great position. They've got the high ground. They've got priority on this ring, and they've got the aim. He's got the bubble to work with as well. He's going to go ahead and toss that out now as the fray is just taking place in front of them. I thought maybe Mirage was in there. Everyone was kind of moving in unison, and Zippit still able to connect with his shots, and AHG are going to take the victory in game number 3. Along with that defensive bombardment. EP spots him out, but JMW picks up one. Amaz, though, will bring down that duo. Never mind. Oxbow is the one that finishes it all off, and they will be able to take that win. Myth with a huge game.
Easy pick if someone's in the open. Doesn't take long for Havoc to kill. From made on the knock on the promo, so they're just gonna push on with this. They're just pushing. They seem to be very comfortable in this area, not worried about any third. He gets his armor broken. Raid for each Chalice. He gets the knock with that Havoc on Bronze. He's gonna phase back, probably crank
Them as a duo, Rogue as a trio, looking to finish this all out.
And this is tough. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. This height on this side. Probably gonna win the game. Naps goes up. Tries to do as much as he can, but gets taken out. Not enough, and they will finish off that last goal knockdown, and that's game 1 right there. Looking up. And here it goes. No bubble yet, so that means that team's still up top. Timmy hitting the zipline juggle, falls down, is gonna have to try to hit another zipline juggle, and it is just an absolute mess in there. Timmy hitting the juggle, dives to Storm, and you saw about 15 boxes pop up right there. Who knows what happened? And you got Rogue winning a second game? They seem to be shooting inside, so there might be 3 teams here, I'm not sure. I can't tell.
Go ahead and push forward. I think it might be Rogue.
Might see a double kick on the door here. One goes down. Door opens. Pathfinder gets the. He's gonna get traded right here. A big right hook to the chest. Takes him out. They're just gonna get chipped at over and over again until they die. Once they get in this tunnel, it's probably over for them.
Kind of killing field. This train might help them out.
The train, it could, or it could push them into Storm.
Yeah.
It's going the wrong way. If it was going towards them, that would be absolutely massive. But it's just going the wrong way. But they have cover. They're probably rotating on the far side. As we speak, once this train disappears, we are going to see people on the right side. Yep, and here we go. Rocker gets knocked immediately.
Is the train the actual MVP?
Practice 1 HP, and they get a quick push, and they... Oh my goodness. The train. The terrain.
Oh my
Provided
god.
the essential cover at the right moment.
Hey guys, if you're a Brimstone main, you're not going to want to miss this one because today we're going to be going over some molly placements that can improve your gameplay on the map split.
Blue side has really kind of clamped it down here over the last 5 minutes, really slowed down the progress, but they haven't been able to get anything going of their own, so it's really just been a stalemate here. Kills, you know, and with the way this map works, there.
Dude, it seems like Mason Cobb is showing off his BXR skills, or just here we go. Let's see what he does. Yeah.
Oh,
BXR out. See, that's the thing. I hope, yeah, maybe. Probably not in the winners finals, wherever this is that we're watching currently. It has been fun to play. It does take me back. The first night it came out, I did play it till like 4 o'clock in the morning. What a great grenade that was. Holy smokes.
From downtown here.
There you go. Let's see if you can actually push it.
Down to the lower middle. Elam taking a lot of damage. Not able to finish the kill here. He's going to look for it. Ooh. Elam just dodges back into cover. Still trying to get over towards that flag, but immediately loses his armor. Trying to find where this player is hiding. Looks like he may be down by the teleporter. He may take the lift up. Teleporter's clear. He's going to go through.
Oh, there you go. He knows where he's at. Let's see this game. Let's see how it plays. Oh, he does a jump BXR. Come on, finish it off. Let's go.
Oh, they trade.
On like directly there. You can, oh, double kill. This is great. The grenade monger is going awesome right now. Uh-oh.
Try not to kill your teammates, Hill.
What a great BXR right there. Coming, I mean, I didn't even see that guy. The guy was hiding in the brush and he just BXR'd him. You must be Houdini with that. He's up. Zildy J is on a killing spree right now. I'm loving this.
Tapping buttons to try and find that Jim Pinker and finish him off. But Bound coming off spawn is going to take Vetra out. And it looks like Neptune stayed alive throughout all of the chaos, and they pick up Picos themselves. Bound and Neptune take the lead right back.
Once again, he's going to fall without Goldstar really influencing the fight at all, and then he's going to end up losing a
collapse here onto Bound. He's going to get the kill. Grab this sniper. We're going to hop over and check out.
as poorly as they just did game 1, and because of that, to give themselves a better opportunity to take this to game 3.
Grenade is not going to get over to Goldstar. We are there. 27 shots on to Outfit. Tyranny doesn't push. He's on the high ground. He's trying to get in behind the red team. Sab is down. Goldstar here as well. That's the 1v2 for Outfit. Probably.
They're attacking buttons on a killing spree. He's on a 6-3 right now, 9-4 with the lead, and he's starting to play great, and that's what it's going to take, right? That's the exact thing that I was to do in order to stop trading from happening. Tapping buttons doing a great job of making something difficult kill, but Bound
Lose this game 2, and it doesn't look like they have any intention of doing so because they want to go to a game 3 in the winners semis. So they've been able to spot this player top mid. Sab is going to
last minute has resulted in 2 more kills going the way of Neptune and Bound, and because of that, the kill
sticky situation there and trade that kill. And 3-3 already a better start for Sab and Goldstar here in game 2 than game 1. But for how long can they have that last? It looks like they're going to have the mentality that this is going to a game 3 because they're up 5-4 now, and that's a phenomenal start compared to what we saw previously.
Look for a play on Bound. Bound breaks the shield very quickly of Vetra and is able to take down Tapping Buttons with the perfect kill, and now Vetra's in trouble.
Yeah, Vetra doing a great job of staying alive, but Bound does not care at all because he's able to not only knock Vetra to no shield, but perfect kill Tapping Buttons and immediately land a nice nade on the Vetra and kill Tapping Buttons off the respawn. Bound.
Bird's gonna get that first knock, and again, it's just about a clean game right here. No trades whatsoever. Finally gentrifying answer back, and that's where they're going to go ahead and push the go button. Walter Bubble already down now. That's it down to the final 3 squads here as they push forward. 6 on top of them with that even 8. Get the knock, finish that off, and now they will be able to get that with 5 kill points on the board. So I want to see if Wig actually has his up. Doesn't look like it. So go ahead and send him out, try and get the damage off. So that's going to mess with the timing. And Aces, you cannot be healing right now. There we go. He's going to cancel it just in time. And as they try to finish this off, Martinez tries to heal. It's going to be Bowser to finish off Joey. Blackout Marty Aces into the point to try and extend it for as long as possible. And they actually get it. What a play. Dream team helping here. Hold the puck
Thank you guys for waiting it out there as we were tabulating the results. But here at the Esports Arena Apex Legends EU Weekly, we have our top 3. And coming in first place, it's going to be Gambit. That'll be taking the $500 first prize with 43 points. And just behind them, Alliance at 40 points in second. And Liquid will be able to hold on to third place with 36 points. Na'Vi just short of the top 3, finished by 2 points, and North made a great run for it themselves, but they fell short by 5 points.
Yes, sir. Liquid, a very impressive game 1 performance. 2 and 3, kind of middle of the pack, and then last game coming out, and like you said, securing that third place. So $200 to them. Alliance taking on 300, and Gambit on the $500 first place finish.
Yeah, so congratulations to all of them. Now, if you guys want to compete, make sure, of course, you're following us here at Esports Arena across all social media, and that you're checking in with our Match Arena page, where every day of the week we have some sort of competition. So if you want to wet your feet in competition, you can definitely do that indeed. So we have Smash, we've got Valorant, we got League of Legends. So make sure you check out the Match Arena page to see if there's anything that interests you, because you could also compete for one of those prize pools. We will have NA taking place tomorrow, and I think that's going to do it for us. Any final words before we end out the show?
No, just like you said, a lot of esports stuff for the esports arena. If you got the skills to pay the bills, go over there and check it on out. More Pitch Legends stuff tomorrow from the North American. I'm FBI Tugboat Jamerson, and I appreciate being here with you.
Yep, that's going to do it for us. Thank you all for tuning in. We will see you guys tomorrow. And of course, next week, once again, we're going to be starting off the weeklies again. So make sure you're following us. But that'll do it for us. Have a good night, and we'll see you guys later.